Hello, everyone. Welcome to History with Hersaphat. I'm your host, Chris, aka Hersaphat. Today we'll be finishing our discussion. Today we'll be finishing our discussion of the decade that was the 90s with the year 1999. The views shared on this podcast come from your everyday ordinary people. My hope is that it'll give a unique perspective on history. For future podcasts, we're going to be doing What's the Deal with Psychedelics and a new decade in review. We're going to keep you guys waiting with bated breath on what decade that's going to be, but we will reveal to it soon. All right, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. Today, to close out the 90s, we've got Nick and Brad with us, like the good old days, and we will be doing our weird news of the
members.
week. Yes, our weird news of the week. Love this little segment here before we get into anything. Get right to it. This week's from the Huffington Post, this week's article is titled "Medical Group's Holiday Text Message Turns into the Stuff of Nightmares." There's one patient was said she was shaking close to tears after reading the text message. Oh. And the article reads, thousands of patients at a British medical clinic received some horrific news just before Christmas when they were told via text that they had aggressive lung cancer. But the messages from the Askern Medical Practice in Doncaster, England, turned out to be a mistake. Please accept our sincere apologies for the previous text message sent, the clinic said in a follow-up, according to NPR. This has been sent in error. Our message to you should have read, "We wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year."
I can see how you get those two mixed up.
The BBC said it took up to an hour for patients to receive the correction. Patient Sarah Hargreaves told the broadcaster that she had been waiting for biopsy results when she received the message and felt sick to my teeth and broke down. Patient Chris Reed told The Sun that his partner burst into tears upon hearing the news. He called the clinic but couldn't get through and then went in person. They went from "You've got lung cancer" to "Merry Christmas" in about an hour. He told the newspaper. Unbelievable. Patient Vicky Southgate said on Facebook that she was shaking and close to tears after getting the message. And patient Carl Chegwin told NPR he would not be returning to the practice. That kind of thing breaks people and drives people to despair, he was quoted as saying. The clinic has not yet publicly commented on the matter after sending out the correction message. That's the article. So, yeah.
What kind of place sends medical diagnoses via text?
Right, via text, yeah.
Oh, God. I mean,
know.
Just don't have the time, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many. That's ridiculous.
It would have been funny if they all got the lung cancer one, and then it's like, oh, no. You don't have lung cancer. You actually have brain cancer.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Correction. Sorry.
Oh, God. Or if someone does have lung cancer and then they told that they don't. Something like that. Who knows?
Ooh, but then they actually do.
Yeah.
So they'll send a third text to that person, correcting the correction.
Right. It just never ends. I too wondered why they would even have that text message. Like, why would you have that on your disposal? Like, you know, I could see like a weather warning, you know, a missing child, all this stuff, but you've got cancer? You've got cancer stuff there? That's like, it seems like a more personal conversation.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You gotta have that like face to face with your primary care doctor, you know?
Not a mass text. And the fact that it was originally supposed to be "Merry Christmas." I mean, that's really dropping
That's ridiculous.
There. Yep.
All right. What if it was the other way around? What if they sent "Merry Christmas"? They're like, "Oh, sorry, I meant to say that you have cancer."
But also Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that the first one still counts. But one to let you know.
We do wish you a Merry Christmas. However, you do have cancer. So, you know, take that with what you will, you know. Happy holidays. So just cover all our bases there. All right. Well, thanks, guys. That's our weird news for the week. Yay. All right. And we will now move into
some stale applause.
Yes. Still in there too as well. Yeah. We'll now move into our timeline portion of the podcast, the last one. For the year 1999, the timeline for 1999.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
Can we all get along? Can we get along?
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder.
What the hell were you thinking?
They served a search warrant on me, which allowed them to view and photograph my body, including my penis, my buttocks, my lower torso, thighs, and any other area that they wanted.
Susan, I'm gay.
That Diana, Princess of Wales, has in fact been killed in that car accident.
A Senate panel describes Y2K, the year 2000 computer bug, as a worldwide crisis.
And on January 12th, Britney Spears releases her album Baby One More Time. The album is the second best-selling album of the 90s in the United States and the third best-selling album of the 90s worldwide. It also enters the list of the top 20 best-selling albums of all time. If there's a clear sign of the oncoming apocalypse, I haven't seen it. On February 20th, 1999, Chicago Tribune film critic Gene Siskel dies from complications after brain surgery. At his funeral, friend and fellow TV critic Roger Ebert described the funeral proceedings as a lifeless show with an unrealistic story. In typical Ebert fashion, he told the Chicago Sun-Times that he'd rather be home watching North than to suffer through this boring, morose show of remembrance. 2 thumbs down. On March 7th, 6 days after the screening of the final cut of his latest movie, Stanley Kubrick dies in his sleep from a heart attack at the age of 70. Widely considered one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, his films, almost all of which are adaptations of novels or short stories, cover a wide range of genres and are noted for their innovative cinematography, dark humor, realistic attention to detail, and extensive set designs. Let's take a minute here to talk about Stanley Kubrick. Is he the greatest director of all time? What do you think?
Oh, that's hard to say, but he is one of the greatest for sure.
Is he the most influential? Maybe the most current generation.
You know what? A lot of newer movies, especially horror movies, that they're shot like The Shining, like the slow panning shots and the steady cam and. He's hugely influential.
And you have a favorite Kubrick film?
I haven't seen all of them actually, but probably 2001.
2001?
And The Shining. 2001, if I can stay awake through the whole thing, then it's my favorite. If not, if I fall asleep, then like the next day I'll watch The Shining and be able to stay awake the whole time.
Yeah. Nick, do you have a favorite Kubrick film?
Yeah, I like Clockwork Orange. Probably my favorite.
That's a great one.
But Space Odyssey's great. I even have the soundtrack for that on vinyl.
I think my favorite would also have to be like The Shining, but also Full Metal Jacket, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's classic.
Yeah. I mean,
I watched that when I watched that too young, man.
I just
it's
it's
rough.
endlessly quotable for me. It's just endlessly quotable. That the drill sergeant, the whole thing.
Gunny, yeah. He's amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think he's probably he's the most influential director for me. I would say for
and the
at
fact
least
that the 4 movies we've mentioned, like as our favorites, are all completely different movies.
Yes,
completely different styles and genres.
Yeah.
Just for I was gonna say, finish my thought there. The influential for current directors, now new age directors. So Hitchcock before him, and I'd say then Kubrick took up the mantle, and I maybe Tarantino, maybe Nolan,
yeah,
Aronofsky,
Wes Anderson.
Yeah. Who knows? The thing about Kubrick is that he was like, there's a bunch of like amazing directors, but he's still above them, and you could always tell there's that one. Kind of like with there's a lot of great basketball players in the 90s, but Michael Jordan was the alpha, the main one. So
right,
yeah. I don't know if the directors here, like you could say like Wes Anderson or I don't know. Chris Nolan, they're amazing directors, but is one necessarily better than another? You know, it's just yeah.
Well, it's like comparing apples to oranges, you know.
Yeah,
That's true. All right. Well, we'll continue now with our timeline of the 90s with the year 1999. And on April 20th, 1999, Columbine High School Massacre. Two Littleton, Colorado teenagers, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, opened fire on their teachers and classmates, killing 12 students and one teacher, and then themselves. Immediately following the tragedy, the U.S. took swift action on gun control, being once again the beacon of light to the world. Take a second there to remember when that happened. I mean, I was like in junior high, I think. I was in 8th grade when that happened. I didn't think, I mean, I thought that's crazy. You know, I think, but beyond that, I didn't really, I don't know. It just didn't shake me in any way.
Right.
In any way.
Yeah, me either, really.
Just kind of like, all right. Yeah. Not saying that obviously nothing that crazy happened at the school I went to, but a lot of crazy stuff did happen at it. It just seemed like guns were like the natural next step. Yeah. So, all right. We'll now move on to May 1st of 1999. The Paintings of Paul McCartney exhibit opens at the Liz Art Forum in Siegen, Germany. The exhibit features around 70 paintings by the former Beatle, all of them nude self-portraits of him in various poses. The World Art Organization called the exhibit genius. The people of Germany, however, called it grotesque. On May 23rd, WWF wrestler Owen Hart dies after a stunt goes wrong at the Over the Edge pay-per-view in Kansas City. It was a crushing blow to the Wrestling Isn't Real crowd. On June 1st, Napster, a music downloading service, is created.
Yes.
It would later inspire other file-sharing sites such as the Pirate Bay, LimeWire, Nutella, Kazaa, Morpheus, BearShare, and uTorrent. Those sites lasted from 1999 to 2010, a period which some called the second golden age of piracy, while others called it the complete and utter destruction of the music business, others being mostly Lars Ulrich. On July 12th, Greg Alexander issues a press release dissolving his band, the New Radicals. Alexander would end the press release by announcing the formation of his newest band, the even newer Radicals. Sadly, they would dissolve within a year, only to come back as the Old Orthodoxy. On July 22nd through the 25th, Woodstock 99 is held in an open airfield during a heat wave with overpriced food and drinks, leaky porta potties, and a lack of water in general. Even with all that, the most abhorrent thing that weekend was the lineup that consisted of bands such as Korn, Godsmack, Kid Rock, Limp Bizkit, Creed, Buckcherry, and ICP. On July 31st, NASA intentionally crashes the Lunar Prospector spacecraft into the moon, thus ending its mission to detect frozen water on the lunar surface. NASA would use the mission as a launch pad to shoot shit at the moon for the next 2 decades. On August 9th, Russian President Boris Yeltsin fires his entire cabinet, including his prime minister, replacing him with an upstart young Vladimir Putin. Yeltsin admitted his decision to fire his entire cabinet for the 4th time in 17 months was made in a drunken stupor, but said his hiring of Putin was the first sober thing he'd done in years. On September 9th, Sega releases the Dreamcast in North America. Critics lauded the Dreamcast for being ahead of its time with online multiplayer, online play and online multiplayer play, graphics and gameplay. Critics did note that the Dreamcast did not come with DVD playing capabilities, but figured it wasn't a big deal. However, Sega's reputation had suffered too much, and even with a great console, with Sony's PlayStation 2 right around the corner, Sega's days were numbered, thus ending the greatest comeback in gaming history. Take a second there. I had a Dreamcast. You never had one, did you, Brad?
No, we had one.
You did? How did you like it? How did you like it?
I enjoyed it. There weren't too many games. I remember, like, the Sonic Adventure games were all fun.
Yeah.
Then there's, like, this Japanese RPG kind of game, Shenmue.
Oh, yeah, Shenmue. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. What else was there?
There was
KO Boxing, the boxing game.
Crazy Taxi.
Oh, of course, Crazy Taxi, yeah.
They had an NFL game, NFL 2K, that was, like,
oh, yeah, we had
miles
that, yeah.
better than Madden. And probably the best game in the whole console, Seaman.
Oh, I never played that.
Yeah.
I've watched gameplay of that. It looked interesting.
It was a strange game, man. I'm pretty sure Ray had that game. And the controller had a little mic on it that you had to talk to the seaman. And so you and the seaman would have conversations, but not really. You would say stuff and it would be like plop, 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 and then would like eat food. It was really weird. It wasn't very fun. It was just confusing, and I just laughed at the fact that it was called seaman. And no one said, "Do you think?" No, let's go with it.
It was like a little like tadpole that eventually turned into a frog, but it had like a human face.
Yeah, it had a human
Something
face,
like that.
just
It was
really weird.
unsettling.
It was like you fucked a fish and this was your child. It was like a Tamagotchi that you had a hand in making, you know. Yeah, just really strange.
I remember playing like MDK or like MDK2.
Oh yeah.
On Dreamcast. I think it was like there's this game, like a spaceship game. I don't remember, Starfleet or something like that. Not Starfleet, but what is it? Star Lancer.
Star Lancer. I don't remember that one. I
I vaguely remember that. I don't know if it was on the Dreamcast. I know it was on the Dreamcast, but I know that I remember playing that game. But it might have been from PC. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember playing Phantasy Star online for the Dreamcast. That was fun. But I don't remember. There was like a tank game too. There's a lot of little fun. I mean, it was a most powerful system when it came out, but it lacked foresight, and especially in the DVD section there when PlayStation 2 said you could play DVDs on it. I mean, that was pretty much it. Everyone got a DVD player. I mean, the price was good too. So our Sega did not. They were good with price as well. I mean, that was like one of the first consoles I think it was the first console I bought on my own with my own money was the Sega Dreamcast. So it always has a little special place in my heart for it. There was we had a what was it, siphon filter or something like that, siphon filter.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
Oh, and they had a Resident Evil game, Resident Evil Code Veronica. I remember that.
Yeah,
that was
Code
pretty
Veronica.
good.
Yeah,
and a couple fighting games, Soul Calibur and Dead or Alive 2. What's the name of this other fighting game?
Did they have Tom Clancy?
As well? I think so.
Probably.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think that wasn't that what that they had the siphon thing for?
Yeah, Tom Clancy's Siphon Filter or something. Siphon Filter or something. Yeah, called Siphon Filter. Yeah,
and it would just go right in the controller.
Yep.
Right, and the controller was so bulky.
Yeah.
I love those controllers though.
That was really cool. It was like the memory card sort of deal, like plugged right into your controller, and it came with a little screen on it that you got to interact with you within the game, which was a whole.
Right?
That was a neat little gimmick. I
remember playing like NFL Blitz on it, and maybe even NFL 2K. If you had more than one person, you would select your plays from that memory card screen.
That's so cool.
So the other person couldn't see what you were picking.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I remember the first time ever experiencing online, like being online playing a game and talking with somebody in California. I guess they were from. I wasn't doing it personally, but I was in a room with someone who was just talking with somebody playing on their console, and I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I was like, what the hell? This is possible? We no longer have to be in the same room with all these wires plugged into everything. What the fuck? I was but
it's blown away, dude.
Yeah, it was a great system. We'll miss you, Dreamcast, but we'll move on now to October 13th, 1999. NASA loses one of its probes, the Mars Climate Orbiter, after communications failed. NASA would launch missing probe posters into space a few days later, but to this day has yet to hear anything back.
Wonder why.
Anyway, December 31st, 1999. Let's just get this over. On December 31st, 1999, Boris Yeltsin resigns as president of Russia, leaving Prime Minister Vladimir Putin as the acting president. Yeltsin would leave office with a historically low approval rating of only 2%. In later years, Yeltsin would inform the public that although he wasn't drunk when he hired Putin, he was, however, high on PCP, although he claimed it didn't affect his decision making.
No, it didn't.
And that will do it for the year 1999. Wow, we're through with the timeline of the 90s. How yeah. Any favorite moments from the 90s overall? Anything? If not, we're just going to cut this all out. Don't worry about it.
I'd have to go back and listen to every episode and pick something.
Yeah, I wouldn't want you to do that. All right, we'll skip this. I'm going to cut all this out, and all right, we're going to move into
Now we'll leave it in.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to leave it in. Pitch shift it too, so we sound like chipmunks.
Oh no,
things get weird. All right, we will now move into the movies of 1999.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
What's in the bar?
He's beginning to believe.
You can't handle the truth.
I must have drank me about 15 Dr. Peppers. You are a child plaything. I see dead people.
Your first appearance are dead. Hold on to your butt.
That was on Netflix.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's our last one for that. That's the last time we'll hear that.
Oh god, yeah. They're gonna have to make a whole new one.
Yep. But I was on Netflix. I was just surfing, and I believe they had Forrest Gump on there. And you know how they show like a clip from the movie if you don't move it fast enough. And, like,
I hate that.
I hate it so much. But it's on Forrest Gump, and all of a sudden it's the scene where he's like at the White House, and then sure enough, it ends with, "I must have drank me about 15 Dr. Peppers," or whatever it says. Yeah. I was like,
that's an iconic scene.
Great. It's great stuff. All right. For the top 10 movies in terms of gross for the year 1999, number 10 was the Blair Witch Project.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. People believed, and I was on the fence. I wasn't sure that this was a real story, and these are real people, and like this really happened, and it's all filmed.
I was young enough to believe it.
Yeah, I was on the fence about it.
I'm not sure what I believed. I think I believed it.
Yeah.
Because there was talk at school, and people at school would go on the internet and like read about it, about how it's all real, which I think was just a marketing ploy.
Well done.
But yeah. I didn't see that movie until later in life.
Right. I don't think I saw it in 99. I think I saw it like when I was like a freshman in high school, or maybe a year later.
I think we rented it and watched it, and my dad was very upset at the overuse of the word fuck throughout.
For some reason. Words.
Yeah. My dad was just like, do they have to curse so much? Because they do a lot in that movie.
Right. Oh, your dad, doesn't he listen to this podcast? I apologize. We throw a lot of F-bombs around here.
He'll be listening. No, I think he's cooled. He's cooled down.
I'm sorry, sir. All right. But yeah, I remember I'm so scared, and the tears. But it's when you hear about how they made that, like they were actually scared. So what's interesting is that it's the idea, the rumor is that these are real people. All this stuff has really happened. But the people who made the film know they're making a film. But at the same time, shit starts happening around them that they're not aware of, that this is actually like the director and the crew like fucking with them to get these reactions.
Right.
So it's this weird sort of, I don't know if it's meta, but it's like short of killing them.
So that happened.
So
I didn't know that actually happened. I thought that everyone was actually involved. So like you're saying that they were out there filming, thinking they were out there filming for like something else.
No, they knew they were filming a movie, but but they didn't know what it was about, or no, they knew what it was about. They didn't think that it was going to go, like no one told them we're going to shake your tent in the middle of the night,
right,
and make you think like shit's going weird, like we're going to intentionally get you guys lost and do stuff like this, and take people away. So like just to like fuck with people's minds, the actors and actresses' minds, to make them think that shit was going south.
Shit was actually going on, yeah.
Yeah.
Then now they would have had to have someone in on it in order to keep rolling, though.
Yeah.
Because in on it to keep the cameras rolling.
I don't know if it was more than one person or if it was all geared towards the girl, but I don't think it was.
Right.
Because the guys were also like, there was also, I can't remember. It might have been one cast member was in on it. Because like the majority of the people had no idea, like they knew they were making a movie, but anyway, like I said, like it's a general fear. Like you see the fear that she actually thinks something's going on.
Yeah.
And then when you realize that it's all just, it all becomes kind of silly, and especially gets really silly with the Blair Witch too.
I never saw that, but
that movie's awful. The first one though, it
holds up.
Good scary movie. Yeah,
it holds up.
Yeah.
And the ending, where all the screaming, and then you see the guy just standing in the corner.
Yeah,
and
that's
the camera falls.
creepy as hell. It's great.
Yeah. All right. Number 9, top 10 movies of the year. Number 9 was Runaway Bride, a rom-com with Julia Roberts. She gets married, but does she? She runs away. And then they make a movie about it, I guess. I don't know. I've never seen that fucking movie. Never seen it. Never wanted to see it. Don't care to see it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good one.
Keep running. I don't care. All right. Number 8. Top 10 movies of the year 1999. Number 8 was The Mummy. Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser. Either they get the first name or the last name wrong.
Right.
Brandon Fraser. Oh God. Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Fraser.
Yes. The Mummy was all right. I thought it was a decent action movie when I saw it. I didn't think it was anything great. It wasn't Terminator 2, which is kind of what I based everything on, or Independence Day. Yeah. It wasn't anything like that,
Yeah.
but The Mummy was all right. Did you guys see The Mummy? Did you guys like it?
Sure, I don't remember it though.
I watched it once a long time ago, so yeah, I don't remember it.
All right, we'll move on because I don't really remember it either.
Sorry, Mr. Fraser.
Oh, the bad guy, the what is it, like King Tut or whatever his name is, the mummy from the the title.
The titular mummy.
The titular mummy is played by none other than Darkman 3's Darkman. That guy.
That guy.
Yeah, so that guy, Darkman,
played by the titular Darkman.
Played by the titular Darkman. He plays the mummy. Yeah. So
that's cool.
I'm nobody's lab rat. Do you understand?
I'll be a mummy. All right. Number 7 is Big Daddy. Number 7 was Big Daddy.
Oh yeah.
Probably
this movie.
What'd you say, Nick?
I think it's a good movie.
So I remember watching this movie, like in like Aunt Tammy's house. I think first time I watched it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it when I was a kid.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Rewatching it now. Oh, I haven't seen it recently, but I've rewatched it since I was like a teenager, so like maybe 15 years ago or something. And it was okay.
Holds up. Holds up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad?
But I mean, it's a Adam Sandler, decent movie.
Yeah. Brad,
I remember especially laughing when he steps on Scuba Steve. Just ow, Scuba Steve, damn you! Just the way, somehow the way Adam Sandler yells is just great back then.
Probably the only movie that I genuinely laugh out loud, except for maybe 1 or 2 lines from Home Alone 2, Rob Schneider. When he's the delivery guy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And he's got that court scene where he's like being a witness, and Steve Buscemi's character's the homeless guy, and he's in the crowd, in the audience. And he's like, hey, if you don't like spaghetti and meatballs, you get the hell out of here. Something like that. And he's like, would you prefer something good fish? And he's like, oh, stop yelling at me. He runs away.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Jon Stewart's in that movie.
Yeah.
A lot of good scenes in that movie. I Can Wipe My Own Ass, The Little Boy, The Twins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good stuff. Probably one of the last remaining funny-ish Adam Sandler movies for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, there's maybe 1 or 2 after this, and that's it.
Right.
All right, we'll move on now to number 6, Tarzan, the Disney's Tarzan soundtrack by Phil Collins. Yeah. I've seen it a handful of times. I had to do a whole spring concert based off of the Tarzan musical in school. I was in choir, and so I had to sing the "You'll Be in My Heart" song and all this stuff. Yeah. So I'm not a big fan because of that. I probably wouldn't have been either, but still, didn't help.
I never saw it. So.
Never saw it. Nick, have you seen Tarzan?
Oh yeah, a long time ago. One time, a couple times maybe, but don't remember any of it. I do remember the Phil Collins songs though.
Yeah. It's got one of the more graphic deaths for the main villain, where he gets these vines wrapped around his neck, and he slips and he falls, and you just see his shadow as the line goes tight and his neck snaps, and you just see him hanging.
Jesus,
like,
dude, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And in the beginning of the movie, there's like blood on the ground after the parents have been mauled by a tiger or something, or a panther. Yeah.
Back when Disney used to traumatize children.
Yeah, back in the good old days.
What happened to them?
All right. Number five, and this one we might talk for a minute on. Top 5 movie of 1999. Any guesses?
All
right.
Top movie of 1999?
No, top 5. We're just gonna say it. The Matrix.
5?
The Matrix.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
All right, go ahead. Who wants to start with The Matrix?
All
right,
I remember the. I guess I'm starting. I remember the commercials being kind of vague. It's like, what is the Matrix? What is the Matrix? Got to get to the Matrix. Hey, what's the Matrix about? It's like I don't know. And it looked, it was like sci-fi and like dark and action-y. So of course we saw it in theaters, and I don't think I got it. I don't think I understood the whole living in a simulation thing.
Right.
Like when Morpheus was like, you're living in a simulation, so your body could be used for this, and he holds a battery out. It's like, what the fuck is he talking about? Battery for, and then
yeah.
A little bit later on, it's like, oh, we use the human body's natural electricity to power the machines and all that, and then keep our consciousness in a fake world, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fucking great movie.
Any highlights from the movie that stuck out to you when you were a kid that still stand up today?
That beginning scene where the cops corner Trinity, and she jumps up and it freezes, and it does that like 360-degree camera thing.
Right. Yeah.
Which has been parodied in
a
million other things, but that was the first time, and it's still fucking awesome if you watch it today.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's wearing cool sunglasses and like long trench coats and black leather or whatever.
Right.
You just reminded me of something.
It had a really cool style to it, like a cyber thriller that actually got it right. Because you had like Johnny Mnemonic and
hey, that was good.
Other
I'm just joking.
Cyber thrillers, but this one did it really well.
Yes.
Nailed it, like lightning in a bottle sort of thing. Because all the sequels, you can keep them.
All right. Nick, how about you?
Well, I would definitely have to disagree with the sequels. I think that The Matrix is a great series as a whole. I think it's definitely worth a rewatch, revisit.
Huh, interesting.
Except I'm not so sure about the new movie.
The new one was very strange.
Haven't watched it. I've heard bad things, so I haven't bothered. But for the original Matrix, very first one, other than like you were saying earlier, like Terminator 2 was like such a great action movie. It's kind of like you compare everything to that, and The Matrix was definitely like the next best action movie I'd seen when I was younger. And it was just great. Like Brad was saying, it had everything. And it was unlike any other action movie I'd seen, because it had like the sci-fi twist and, and things like I just really didn't understand what was going on. The sound, and I like the soundtrack, of course.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, as I got older, and I revisit the series, and I really learned what was going on with it. I enjoyed it, and then I enjoyed the rest of the movies. So,
is there any particular scene in the first movie that stuck out to you that still stands up today? Something that you're like,
yeah,
when you think of the Matrix, you think of that?
Definitely. When Neo and Trinity are going to save Morpheus, and they enter that building, and there's that huge gunfight, and then there's the helicopter, with Morpheus in the chair, and all that whole thing going down and up into the rooftop with him dodging the bullets, that whole thing.
Oh yeah.
That whole bit. Yeah.
Man, you're making me want to watch it again.
I hadn't seen The Matrix when it came out. It was like at least a year or two. So I saw it on DVD, something like that, like after. And I was older, so I could understand more. I think I was probably like 15 or something, but maybe 14. But I remember watching and being like, this is like the cool, like it was like a cool film. Like it was like in the same vein of like another movie we're gonna mention later, but where it was just kind of like, man, I really wish, you kind of wish that it was like that, and that you would get unplugged, so you go be able to jump from building to building and just, I've learned how. Oh, can you teach me how to fly a helicopter? Yeah, we'll plug you in. All right, now he knows how to learn how to fly a helicopter. He knows it. He can do it. Now I know every martial art. I know this. I got all this stuff. It's just this crazy way of looking at life, and the philosophical elements of it I picked up on more. I'm thankful I watched it when I was a bit older.
Yeah.
On that regards, there's so many quotable lines in that film that, I mean, just as a kid I would do, like teenager, we used to joke around where, like, in that same scene where Morpheus is attempts to be, as rescued by Neo and what's her face, but Trinity. When what's his name talks to Mr. Smith, Agent Smith got Smith. Morpheus by the head, and he's like, I need to get the keys to codes to Zion. I need to get free. He's like grabbing onto his head and like squeezing it. And we used to do that just to like fuck with friends. We used we used to grab each other's heads and like, I need the keys to Zion. I need to get free. I must get free. You're like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? And I remember there's a couple of guys in our high school who took it upon themselves to go to like Hot Topic, and they each got their own trench coat from the Matrix movies, and they'd wear them around. It was like the C team, D team of like, if you were to like do like stunt doubles, replacements for Neo, or they were just like the people that, I don't know, nice people, but I mean, why are they wearing trench coats? They even got the sunglasses. They had the whole thing. They were all those people. They were decked out. Now it's one thing to cosplay, but this is an everyday occurrence. It's like, I'm gonna put on a sweater. Let me put on my Matrix trench coat and sunglasses, slick hair.
You know what?
What do you call it? Like
those guys should have gotten unplugged.
Right. Oh God, but man, I the bullet stopping scene where he's just like, no, and then he blocks every one of Smith's attacks, just kicks him, and has that really odd looking, like, where he's just got his leg up in the air, like the next cut of the scene, and he like lets it down.
All the kung fu stuff.
Yeah.
The action. Oh man, all the great choreographed fights.
Fantastic. Just so
it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's such a good movie.
Also,
I'll go on. Sorry.
A quick note. It has the best steak in any movie
I've
ever seen.
Oh yeah.
When what's his name? Cyrus.
Yeah. Cyrus the virus.
When he's having dinner with Agent Smith, talking about getting the codes to get plugged back into the Matrix, like a deal. That steak he's eating, oh my God,
looks amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
dude. Oh no, it's not Cyrus. It's Cypher.
Cypher. He's eating a filet mignon.
I am totally on his side.
Oh right.
Like I would sell out everyone just to get put back in the Matrix and not live on that ship and eat that gruel or whatever the fuck they eat.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I will have a steak dinner with you, Hugo Weaving.
Ignorance is bliss.
This is Is that what he says? Right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he wants to be back in the system. He's better off not knowing that he also other had reality exists.
Right.
He's
he had terms though.
Program.
He's like, he wanted to be rich, have a good or something, or famous.
Yeah.
It's like,
dude. I mean, that's.
I will go around and unplug all of you to go back.
Well, that's good to know.
If Chris is Neo, like, sorry, man, just you're dead.
You doom all of existence for your own selfish needs. How dare you?
Yeah. No, it's not dooming. It's just being ignorant of.
I mean, that
what's
sucks
actually
honestly
going on.
because in the reality, like, those machines are horrific. I would not want to live in that reality with those malicious machines.
Well, if I'm Neo,
it's terrifying.
We're gonna move on here because we're talking about the Matrix for another. But if I'm Neo, I'm the one, right? I'm the one that's I'm the savior, essentially, right? The Jesus Christ figure, right? And you're gonna kill me before I can even get off the floor or whatever,
Yeah.
So you're gonna be dooming all of everyone. for eternity. There's no chance
What?
for a better life because of your selfish needs. How dare you?
How could it
How dare you?
possibly be better?
I don't know. Give it a shot. We'll figure it out. But I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be. I don't know. We're gonna move on now to the top four. Number four, grossing of the year 1999. Top four. Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, with Fat Bastard and all them.
Oh, wonderful.
It's the one I've seen the most, I think.
Look it in my belly.
Second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first Austin Powers was quoted endlessly. The second one was quoted endlessly. The third one. The third one
Not
wasn't
so much.
Nope.
Yeah.
I think after the second one, it was too much quoting, and it was a whole thing. But not a terrible movie. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's not as bad as Goldmember.
You have the iconic Fat Bastard character. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of cinema's greatest.
The rehashing of old jokes from the first movie.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Number three, top movie. Number three was Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2. Funny, interesting thing about this movie, if I'm not mistaken, I remember reading about it or seeing it on, maybe a video somewhere where the story was like set in stone how it was going to be, and they completely like axed like an entire part of it. Or it's that they put in this song for Jesse, which completely changed how they had the story written, so they had to redo it again. Anyway, the Toy Story 2 like production was a mess, and nobody was even sure if it was going to get made on time, which it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it was pushed back. And anytime a movie's pushed back, and like a video game or anything, people get kind of worried about it, and they ended up pulling it off. But it almost was a complete disaster. I just remember reading about that. Don't really remember watching it more than once because it's Toy Story 2. And at that time, I was entering high school, and I couldn't tell anybody that I went and watched Toy Story 2 without my life getting threatened. All right. On number two, for the top 10 movies in terms of gross, The Sixth Sense. Oh man, The Sixth Sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Such a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
That twist at the end is fantastic. The whole thing. There's so many terrifying moments, and it's just a great film. It's definitely timeless.
Yeah, and then you rewatch it knowing that he's dead the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, it actually all works.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
I think, man, the first time I saw that movie, I was over at a friend's house. I'd never seen it, so they didn't let me know anything about it. Thankfully, so we get through the whole thing and get to the end scene, and then I find out that Bruce Willis is dead, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh my god! It took me a second to even pick up what they were saying, and then it wasn't until after the movie was over that I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, wait, so when he says I see dead people, he's talking about him. He's saying I see, and he's just like, yeah, and I was like, oh my god,
it's so crazy, yeah,
that's crazy. It's like, and then you realize that the camera pans into Bruce Willis as he's saying it. It's no longer focused on Haley Joel Osment's character. It's, I see dead people, and it just zooms in on him as like letting you know this is the dead person. Hello, giving you little hints. Anytime when he went to go pick up the check, and she took it away from him right before he went to reach for it, just right before it, so he still thinks that he's alive, and she's just ignoring him. His wife being her. Yeah. And just a lot of these little things. The stuttering Stanley, and all that creepy stuff, and Jesus.
Yeah.
The girl from the OC is like the girl that pukes, like underneath that.
That scared the shit out of me.
Oh God, can't remember her
I think
name.
That the lady that is the actress for the mother she's fantastic.
Oh yes,
she is amazing in that movie.
Oh yeah. God, and then when she's like, "Grandma told me to tell you this and this," and it's things that
that person was
yeah,
like hit. There's an accident up ahead. That's why they're stuck in traffic.
Right.
Yeah, that was crazy,
man.
But scene.
By far the best film that he ever made. M. Night Shyamalan, and
Shyamalama Ding Dong.
After that, I'm pretty sure the next movie was it Signs?
No, Unbreakable, I believe.
Or no, Unbreakable was his first one. It's The Village.
Oh, The Village, yeah.
Yeah, in between. I'm pretty sure it was The Village in like 2001 or something.
Right.
Or 2000. So Unbreakable, I'm pretty sure is his first movie. With
No, The Sixth Sense was his first movie.
Oh, really? I thought it was Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well, I guess you get back to here. You typing away there. You can get back to
Yeah.
them, you know.
The Sixth Sense 99, then Unbreakable for 2000, then Signs.
Oh.
The Village.
Wait, 3 movies in a row? Like back to back to back? Like that's like
99, 2000, 2002.
Oh, 2002. Okay. Still, that's 3 movies in what, 4 years? Man,
He seems to make them every 2 or 3 years, yeah.
nonstop.
Uh-huh.
Well, all right. Now we'll get to the top movie of 1999. Any guesses as to what it is? Any guesses?
Top movie.
Fight Club,
No clue.
which I really doubt.
So we got Fight Club and no clue. Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Oh God.
The
For
Phantom
What?
fucking Menace. The Phantom Menace. Oh,
Dude, that was
Well,
was
this is in
huge
terms
when
of
it came out.
gross because everyone wanted to see it, right? It was a
of
long
course.
waiting.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I waited in line. It was in a packed theater for that movie.
It's certainly, most certainly not the highest rating film. That's for sure.
Oh, no. Top 10 movies in terms of gross for the year 1999. Number 1 was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
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 Thoughts?
Yeesh.
So far, it sounds like a lot of you guys had a good time watching it. Here's the thing. I'll just start with an asterisk or whatever. It's better than it was, or better than the new sequels. The last two. The last two.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at least it was George Lucas, and despite him being a very poor director and writer, it was his vision, so you got to give him credit.
Right.
It wasn't made by like a boardroom full of suits at Disney.
Right. It is boring. It is just drags out. You're not sure why a number of the characters are even there. They're just there circumstantial. Why is Jar Jar Binks there? Why does he even exist?
Well, I heard he's a Sith Lord.
Yeah, there's that whole thing.
No.
There's one of the many things that I
Don't even
find
start.
awful with that movie is Anakin Skywalker. You know, he's a kid, be that as it may. But he's what is it? He's apparently the one he created C-3PO. Why they needed to do that, I don't know. It's unnecessary. It just makes it's just have C-3PO just be a droid that was just made like any other droid. It just happened to be along for the ride for the first 3 movies. The attachment doesn't change. It doesn't make any sense to make him the product of Anakin Skywalker. It doesn't add to him at all. It's just nonsense. It actually complicates things unnecessarily. Fucking Lucas. So that was one of the things that always
that's
pissed
just
me
his
off.
style, I guess.
It's like, oh, let's have Maul, and then he also created R2D2, and then
I mean, he did that with the original trilogy too. He just made it up as he went along. It's like, oh, Luke and Leia are actually brother and sister. Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, because originally they were supposed to be the romantic together in a sense.
Yeah.
But the fans didn't want that. They wanted Han Solo.
And I think even like Darth Vader being Luke's father was just added randomly.
Right.
Well, I don't know about that.
He just added stuff all the time. He's backpedaling constantly.
His name's Vader's father in German.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that
I don't know.
That was
Maybe he found that out.
Right. It's that's what if
I named him Vader.
Holy shit! I just had a great idea.
Yeah. He's like, Vader means father in German. Oh my god, this is great. Let's do this.
But Star Wars, I mean, just there's a lot of dialogue and diplomatic talk, and
it's boring as shit.
Yeah, and just nothing going on. And I mean,
still don't really understand that plot. Like a trade block, like a blockade for trade on a planet.
A trade embargo on a planet.
Embargo, yeah.
Yeah, that is apparently going to lead to the destruction of the Republic somehow.
And they sent 2 Jedis to go talk about it.
Yeah, and then they were
2 warriors.
Yeah, which makes sense.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Then Jar Jar gets involved, and he never leaves.
Of course.
Throughout the
And
entire.
he never leaves. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I just it's just not a very good movie, but it is better than the 2 later Disney movies. I don't think it's better than Force Awakens. I would say probably the 3rd movie and the prequels and Force Awakens are on par, but these first 2 movies, episode 1 and when we get episode 2 stumble out the gates. They're just terrible. I don't really have much more to shit on about it because I could go on for hours, but
I'm sick of Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of the thing, give credit where it's due. The music at the end, the fight scene between Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and
Duel of
Light-
the Fates.
yes, and Darth Maul. Darth Maul was one of the epic, amazing. That's a badass villain.
He was pretty cool,
and he is fucking wasted on this shithole of a film. Yeah, ridiculous.
Don't worry, Disney will make Maul, just called Maul.
Well,
it'll be the whole story of Darth Maul.
They do have in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah,
he is. He's actually still alive, and he has robot legs.
Yep.
So.
Like a spider.
He's a robot Chewbacca.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's not actually in the. Like Nick was saying in the Clone Wars, he's not actually dead. So, all right. Well, that will do it for the top 10 movies in terms of gross for the year 1999. We will now move into my personal film selections of 1999. Let's start from the bottom here. SLC Punk. I watched that a couple times. Didn't think it was bad. It's a indie film. Stars what's that guy's Matthew Lillard, one of the killers from Scream, the movie Scream.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty sure. Well, I don't want to give it away, but it's a what do you call it, like a drama of sorts. But yeah, not a bad movie. It's worth seeing once. Have you guys seen SLC Punk? If you haven't, then I'll move on.
Nope.
All right.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like, I usually get that and Train Spotting mixed up for some reason.
Oh well, yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Another movie of mine, or movie not personally mine, but a personal selection. Mystery Alaska, an underrated film for probably one of the better movies that deal with the sport of hockey in the 90s. And that includes the Mighty Ducks films. I'd say Mighty Ducks 1 and then Mystery Alaska are probably 1 and 2. Mystery Alaska being a more adult-centered film. But
Russell Crowe, Burt Reynolds.
Yep. They play against the New York Rangers. I believe it was. I don't know if it's based off a true story, but
was it a Disney film?
It's not bad. It actually, is more realistic than Mighty Ducks by a million miles. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not the greatest movie, but it's worth watching once if you can find it. Another personal film selection of mine. I actually watched a bit of this earlier today. Love this movie. Love it. It's maybe top 3, 4 comedies of the 90s. Definitely in my top 5, without a doubt. Office Space.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Love that movie.
Just before I go off on a tangent, Nick, what did you like about Office Space? Scenes that stick out to you? A certain scene?
Oh my god, dude!
Collection, something. Remember the first time you watched it? That sort of deal.
I absolutely love this movie. I watch it, at least once a year. Like I am always revisiting this movie. It's hard to say which scene is my favorite because they are just all fantastic. But I'd have to say my favorite character out of the favorite side characters. I have 2 favorite side characters, right? His neighbor. Every interaction he has with his neighbor is just amazing, hysterical. But then I also really like the waiter guy, the eccentric waiter. He's like, "Can I get you guys any jalapeno poppers? How you guys doing today?"
Extreme fajitas.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh man, that shit always cracked me up. But yeah, it's such a great film. Milton and all that, and Lumberg and the boss, and it's so relatable whether you work in an office or not. And just the everyday to day life of the monotony.
Right.
That can sometimes get to you.
Brad?
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Besides what Nick mentioned, the hypnosis scene always cracked me up big time. Poor guy, he has a heart attack, and he never gets knocked out of the hypnosis, so he's just calm.
Right.
He sleeps in the next day, and he has how many messages on his phone from Lumberg?
Oh God, it's in the teens.
Each one starts
yeah.
exactly the same. He just
Right.
goes through them really quickly.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hi.
I,
Yeah.
I love in
hi.
that therapist scene, or that hypnotherapist scene, when Peter's like, every day is the worst day of my life, and the hypnotherapist is like, so is today the worst day of your life? He said, yeah. And the therapist is like, man, that sucks.
And his quote, "It's not that I'm lazy, it's just I don't care." It's just like that's like a mantra. And he knocks down the wall in his cubicle so he can get a view out the window.
Fish,
and
plays Tetris, and eats Cheetos.
This guy has upper management written all over him.
Yeah.
Oh, and who's the guy he's like, I'm a people person, you know. I take the
Tom.
Yeah,
Tom Wachowski.
Okay. God, it's so good.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Yeah. He's freaking out.
I know how to deal with the goddamn customers.
Yeah. Peter
I deal with
says
the
to
goddamn customers, so the engineers don't have to.
The two guys is like, oh, good luck with your firings or whatever.
Bob,
yeah.
Bob,
and Bob, yeah.
Yeah, the Bobs, yes.
The Bobs,
yeah. The first time I ever saw Office Space, I was I think I was in 8th grade. My cousin had rented it, I guess, and we started watching it, and it was at the scene where Peter's in his apartment, and his neighbor bangs on the wall. Hey, Peter, check out Channel 12 or something. He's like, damn it, can't you just pretend you? Oh, come on, man. You know, he flips over the channel, and it's this woman like massaging her breast or something, or she's topless. Anyway, we're watching it, and like the screen like switches away or whatever, goes to the next scene, and the door to his room opens up, and it's my dad. And he's like, "What are you guys watching?" And we're like, "Oh, just a movie." Had he come in like a second prior to that, it would have been over.
Right.
But
oh man.
But yeah, the first time I remember actually fully watching it, because beyond that point I don't remember much about it. It was too adult for me at being in 8th grade. I wouldn't know. But God, man, the beginning where they're waiting in traffic, and the music, he goes to switch lanes, the other lane goes then the one that he left, and then he goes back to the one he left, and then that one he was just in moves.
Oh yeah.
The guy on the stretcher or whatever, the walker, is now further along than he is, and he's in a car. The music that Michael Bolton listens to, the guy's name is Michael Bolton.
Oh.
And it's got this, they're just throwing out like the N-bombs or whatever. So it's gangster rap. And then he gets somebody. Some black guy walks by him, and he locks his doors and turns it down. And then as soon as he leaves, he turns it back up, and he acts like he's all tough again. Right. Oh, man, there's so many classic fucking.
Probably one of my favorite lines from The Neighbor. I just wanted to add because I just remembered it. It's when Peter gets home, and they're having a beer together and whatnot, and he's like, "Let me ask you something. Does anyone at your job?" He's asking his neighbor, "Does anyone at your job ever say to you, sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays?" He like looks at him all like serious. He's like, "No, man. No, I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that." And that shit always cracked me up, man. I love that line.
His death stare into him, and he's just like, no,
like, how dare you ask me that question?
Shit,
no. Like almost like he felt like kicking his ass just by his. It's great.
God, that guy's hilarious, from the Drew Carey show and whatnot.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Drew Carey show. I don't remember his name though.
It's Dietrich something. I don't remember his last name, but his he's like, "Hey Lawrence, what would you do if you had $1 million?" He's like, "I'll tell you what I do, man." Also, it's like 2 chicks at the same time.
Yep.
It's like, he's like, "Come on, man, no, man, I'm saying it." Well, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, what if for 2 chicks to double up on a guy like me? He's like, it's like, I figure I could probably pull that off. Being a lot of money. It's like, all right, yeah. Milton's, gonna burn down the building. I read that's the last straw, and I saw the squirrels, and they were married. And it's just like this ridiculous thing. The whole movie is based off of him. He's based on like a comic book strip is based off of him.
Yeah.
The whole Office Space exists because of that character, Milton. Peter Gibbons and everyone was just added later. Bill Lumbergh is hilarious as the boss. I could talk for hours on this movie. It is just fantastic. I don't necessarily, I can't even think of a favorite. PC load letter. What the fuck does that mean? He hits the copier and just breaks it.
Yeah. I mean, the
God.
soundtrack is great too.
Oh, I love it.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Man, it's just that I don't know if I have a favorite scene in that movie, but I cannot recommend it enough. It's fantastic. All right, we'll move on now to much as I don't want to. We'll move on to my next personal film selection of 1999, and that's Being John Malkovich. I've
actually never seen this.
Never seen it.
Yeah, that's a very strange movie, but really funny at the same time.
Yeah, what I have seen, I've enjoyed. So I just haven't seen the whole thing.
You probably saw the scene where John Malkovich goes inside his own head.
Oh, his own head, yeah. And then,
Malkovich. What an odd movie.
Yeah. Who directed that?
I don't know. I was just thinking that. It's like, maybe I should check out that director's other movies.
I know it's Spike Jonze or Paul Thomas Anderson, maybe?
Oh, no, you're right. It is Spike Jonze.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's move on to another personal selection of mine, EDTv. Although it's the inferior to The Truman Show, I do think it's worth watching at least once. It stars,
Is it like the same thing or like a
similar
story?
Similar in a sense where it stars, what's his name? It stars Woody Harrelson and holy shit, Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
And which is really funny because the fact that if you ever watch True Detective, that's season 1. And so if you think about it, this could potentially be, be like the prequel to the season 1 because shit goes south. But basically, it stars Ellen DeGeneres. I forgot about that. I believe it was directed by Rob Reiner, the guy who did North.
Ron Howard.
Oh, Ron Howard? Is it Ron Howard? Okay, yeah, I knew it was a Ron. But it's Ron Howard, so it's not, he knows what he's doing. Basically, a film crew follows Matthew McConaughey around 24/7 and films his entire life. It's just EDTv.
I see.
But Woody Harrelson's character is hilarious. He's just such an asshole. It goes over he does it so well. He plays a really, really over the top asshole well.
Right.
There's a lot of, it's like I said, it's not as good as The Truman Show. It's not even the same ballpark, but I do think it's worth watching once. It's not bad. We'll move on now to another personal film selection of mine, The Iron Giant. I recommend that one. That's a good animated film. One of the better ones in the 90s.
Never saw it.
Recommend that one. Another recommendation of mine, Man on the Moon. The Jim Carrey film with about Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. That was really good.
Do you have any favorite scenes for that movie, Brad?
No.
No?
I don't really remember it. I just remember it being good.
Nick, do you have anything from that movie stuck out to you?
Not necessarily the movie, but I remember watching like the documentary about the movie and how Jim Carrey basically became Andy Kaufman and like went to see Andy's parents and they were even like convinced that that was Andy,
Right.
And like he was so into the character that he pissed off a lot of people when he was being Andy's alias. I forgot his name.
Tony Clifton.
Oh yeah.
And because that character's just an asshole. I fucking love that. That's my favorite, dude. I love that character.
Tony Clifton, yeah.
But yeah, dude, he just embraced Andy and literally became that person. It's nuts. Like that might be some of the best method acting ever because he went nuts in that movie.
I think for me, just for Man on the Moon, one of my personal favorite scenes for that is like a Tony Clifton scene where he's he's pretending he's Tony Clifton. He's like, bah, and he goes in between the crowd. He starts talking with everyone. He's like, was that some cottage cheese you're falling your ass or something like that? Did you sit in some cottage cheese or is that your ass? And then he gets this, what's your guy's name? And he puts the mic right in his face. And it's this noise, and he's like, Bob, what's your last name? Up and down in the water? It's just bullshit jokes. And people are like, oh, and he starts, he's like, I need this place like I need a shotgun blast to the face. I played in Carnegie Hall. Don't you understand, people? He's like walking around telling shitty jokes and just like dumping water on people. just being terrible and hilarious. And I mean, Andy Kaufman on his own, just he go out play the bongos, start crying, and people would boo him, and then he'd leave, and his manager would come out back, come on, what's wrong with you? He's played this place, he's played, come on now, you be nice to him, he's a good guy, and he comes back out and they clap. He goes out, starts playing the bongos, and starts immediately crying again. It's just bullshit stuff like that. Just always getting one up on the audience. That's what I loved about Andy Kaufman. And this movie does a great job of emulating that.
Oh yeah.
So we'll move on now to personal film selection of 99 with Dogma. Might be my last Kevin Smith film I'll recommend. I thought it was decent. It's got George Carlin in it.
I like Dogma a lot.
It's got Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Who's excellent.
Got Alanis Morissette as God.
Yeah. Chris Rock.
Yeah. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
The 13th disciple.
Yep. Yeah. So I think there's some sort of restriction on it, so you can't even stream it or get it anywhere, or it's not on any DVD or anything. Something with Dogma. It's very hard to get across or to get a copy of Dogma or watch it anywhere.
At least stream it. You could probably just buy it on Amazon or something.
Probably. But yeah. Like I said, right on the last ones for Kevin Smith. But yeah, Dogma. All right, move on to let's see, I got 5 more here. October Sky. It's a good
one. Oh yeah.
With
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yep.
Awesome movie.
Based on a true story. Homer Hickam. One of the I think he went to space, I'm pretty sure. Or if he didn't, he was at least part of NASA, which helped one of the first people get rockets into space and all that shit. But
right.
It's a really good movie. We used to watch it in school.
Right.
Nothing in particular sticks out to me. I can't really remember too much about it. It's one of those old those classic tropes of where the father wants something different from the son, but the son just wants to follow his passion. He's like, I don't want your life of the coal mine. You're gonna get in that mine. No, I want to shoot rockets.
Right.
It's just one of these things.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, pretty much.
Beyond that, it's actually pretty good. All right.
And his dad was played by was it Chris Cooper, right? So he is the coal miner. He plays the coal miner.
Yeah. Pretty sure he was birthed he was birthed and conceived and birthed in a coal mine. Yeah. True story. All right. We'll move on to number 4 here. Actually, you know what? I like this one out of all the remaining ones, so I'll save it for last. 10 Things I Hate About You. I'll just mention that one. That's a good rom-com. I like that movie.
Yeah.
It's got what's his face?
Heath Ledger.
No, I know that, but something Miller. It's Jerry Seinfeld's best friend. He plays the father of the girl's father. Where his lines to them are they crack me up the whole time. But no, it's a good one. It's got Joseph Gordon-Levitt, got the guy who played Bernard in Santa Claus. It's got what's that kid's name? It's not the Rookie of the Year, nor Kid in King Arthur's Court. Can't remember what movie he was on, but he's like the jock guy, the suave, that prick. I can't remember where he's from. Pretty sure he was on an episode of Full House. Anyway, he's in it. He's not bad. But move on now to The Green Mile. That's another selection of mine. The Green Mile. Yeah, who likes that?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, great. Whoa.
Yeah, I've actually read that book recently.
Oh yeah. How different is the book from the movie?
The movie does it justice. I mean, it's just one of those movies that actually does the book justice. There's the actors they picked are say that you read the book before, you would be very pleased with the actors they picked for the characters.
All right.
But watching the movie before reading the book, it's they just fit so perfectly that's who I imagine them as, right?
Right.
Literally for everyone when it comes to Percy to anyone. But yeah, there's a bit they left out. but I mean, that's kind of what you do, right? Like kind of condense it.
Well, yeah, you have
Nothing
to.
that's really necessary. They've put pretty much everything that's worth it. The only thing I would say is I really wish that, because in the book, um, the story of what's happening uh, in like the prison and with John Coffey and all that is actually being written down by the main character at the like the old folks home. He's like
Oh,
writing
okay.
it down.
Okay.
And that's what the narration is basically of the book. And the things that happen to him while he's at the old folks home are really, like, I mean, pretty great, like for character development and learning more about him as he tells the story, and then jumping back is actually really great. And it would have been given it the way that the movie was made, they definitely could have added that, because it had that mood to it, right? It
Yeah.
had that aesthetic, and it would have just fit perfectly with it. And maybe it's about time, I don't know. But it would have been great, because I still picture um uh what is his name? For some reason I can't think of the main characters, the guy who plays the main character in the movie.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. Yeah, I still picture him as the old man, like an old Tom Hanks in the book.
Yeah.
When it goes to the old folks' home. So it's like, would have been perfect.
Brad.
Yes, I saw it a couple times. Don't really remember much of it. I think I need to rewatch that one.
That's a good one.
Definitely, man.
How long is the movie? It's pretty long. It's like 3 hours long.
Yeah, it's near 3 hours. It's probably like 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 hours 45, something like that.
2 minutes near 3 hours. I think my favorite. I don't know if I have. There's so many great scenes in that movie. It's hard to pick just one. You hate Percy. You fucking hate that little shithead.
Yeah.
And he doesn't wet the sponge, and he puts it on
Right.
Dave's head or Dale's head.
Delacroix.
Yeah. With Mr. Bojangles, his little mouse or something like that.
Right.
And it just really
it was the guy who owned the mouse. Yeah.
Yeah. And the actor in that movie, Sam Rockwell, fantastic as the villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot recommend enough. The Green Mile, watch it. All right, 2 more left here. I'm gonna go with this one first. South Park, bigger, longer, uncut. Personal film selection of 1999.
Saw that in theaters.
Did you see that with your parents?
Believe it or not. Oh, with my dad.
Oh, nice.
God, okay, I remember. Yeah, it was my siblings, my dad, and myself, and we go up to the ticket taker, and my dad's like, 4 for South Park, and they seemed a little concerned because it was 99.
So you would have been
like 13, 12, 13.
Yeah.
So she said something like, "Oh, this movie, it's very crude or something like that or whatever," and my dad's just like, "Oh, that's okay." Like that's okay. We all want to see it or something like that.
Right.
Because we had been renting those South Park VHS tapes and watching the episodes.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yet my dad had a problem with all the F-bombs, and I say F-bomb because he might be listening. All the F-bombs in the Blair Witch Project.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was well, what time did South Park come out? I don't know. Maybe might have been December. I don't remember. But Nick, do you remember watching that for the first time? Any scenes particularly stick out to you?
I remember. Well, I watched was it the Underpants Gnomes episode of South Park before I watched the movie. I didn't watch the movie until like years and years later.
Right.
But I only watched it once. So.
Oh, you've only seen it once.
Yeah.
When I was I think a junior or senior in high school, I started buying DVDs, and I got a hold of South Park, bigger, longer. I bought it, and I'd watch it and laugh my ass off. But I've only watched it I haven't watched it in a long time now. It's been a little while. The songs are fantastic. Blame Canada, it's classic. All that stuff. Trey Parker and Matt Stone show up to the Oscars tripping on acid because of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. The the little French kid is like, "Leave resistance," and he's like, he gets like gunned down or something like that. And he's like, "Oh no, you must carry." I know the Big Gay Al's song where he's like, "Bombs are flying, people are dying, children are crying, politicians are lying too," something like that. Yeah, I'm super. Thanks for asking. All things considered, all that stuff.
I remember Chef telling Stan like you have to find the clitoris. Remember that? And then isn't it like a giant clitoris like shows up at the end or something? I'm trying to remember that.
I don't remember that.
It's ridiculous.
I sure was like, check. How do you get a woman to notice you or like you or not leave you or something like that?
Yeah,
and he's like, that's easy, Clown. You just gotta find the clitoris. What's the clitoris? Oh boy. I said too much. Yeah. Just a really funny film. It won an Oscar. I think it won best song, or at least it was nominated. Yeah, classic. They wouldn't make another film for a while. I don't think it wasn't till Team America that they did something else. That was like in 2004. So, all right, and now my number one personal film selection of 1999. Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta. Fight Club. I can talk just like Office Space, just like anything. I could talk for hours on this movie.
About that.
On this movie,
I was so obsessed with that movie when I was a teenager.
Oh yeah,
just watch it all the time.
God, the lines that Brad Pitt would spew out, you just memorize them, stuff like that. Yeah,
like this is your life and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
Right. You are not a unique snowflake.
Yeah. Deep space exploration will be owned by corporations. So you have like the Starbucks Nebula or something like that.
Right. God.
Oh man. Very, very good movie.
Yeah, another what's his name? Guy David Fincher. Another David Fincher film. His name was Robert Paulson, that whole scene. And he did the twist at the end was like, what the fuck? Thing that always confused me at the end is because he put a gun in his mouth and he pulled the trigger. I figure he's dead, but he's still talking. And alive. I was like, is he really dead, or is he just pretending not? He's not dead. Did he actually shoot himself? No, he shot himself. How is he still alive? He shot himself in the head.
It went through his cheek.
Yeah, I found that out later, but
so it didn't kill him.
Yeah, but why would that take care of Tyler? And
I think. Well, let's just call him Jack. You never learn his name, but
the narrator, yeah.
Yeah. I think he was convinced. He convinced himself that would kill Tyler, or maybe even kill himself. Like he was convinced that he would kill himself. So it did kill Tyler. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm willing to take that. I have no idea, but it always perplexed me, I guess you could say. How many people knew fight clubs growing up, or knew people that would like get together? I mean, I had friends that would spar. They had sparring gear and they'd all fight in a garage. It was like a fight club.
Oh,
yeah, and all that.
I was never part of any actual fight club.
Yeah, we did that. I once fought somebody who was nicknamed the sewer rat. That's how serious it got. Yeah.
that sounds really serious.
Yeah. I won that fight. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, we used to that the movie was a huge influence on a young male growing up, especially perfect time for me.
Well, and not in a good way either.
No, not in a good way. Yeah.
That's the big takeaway, is the whole movie's about like self-destruction, and
right.
It's really not good, but it's still entertaining, at least.
Oh, for sure.
Interesting.
Nick, anything to add for Fight Club?
I mean, it's just honestly, it's like a cult classic, right? Like a cult classic, timeless film.
Yeah.
That's relatable in some sense, right? Like you guys are saying, there's a lot of good Tyler Durden quotes.
Things you own,
but I know that.
You.
Yeah, but I know that it's a book as well, right? But I never read the book.
Chuck Palahniuk or something like that? No. Yeah. Nope. Never read it.
Because I'm sure that, as far as I'm concerned, I'm sure that there's like the like a twist, like maybe at the end where you find out that, you know, that it was just like his imagination. You know, the whole time wasn't a real guy. Like he is Tyler Durden, the whole thing. But like how a book can pull that off, I mean, be interesting to see or to read rather.
All right. We will move on to worst movies of 1999. There's not a ton. There's not a little. Move right into it. Baby Geniuses. That's a terrible movie. Baby Geniuses, one of the worst movies of 1999. I've never seen it. Never wanted to see it.
Neither have I.
It's fucking stupid.
Never going to.
Why would anybody want to see this trash? Fuck this movie. We'll move on. Universal Soldier: The Return. That's the one with Goldberg, the wrestler. I don't even know if Jean-Claude Van Damme's even in this one. But I do know it's terrible, so don't see it. Moving on. Okay. I feel like the magician who's pissed off that he didn't get his contractually obligated $5. Okay. Move on. Next movie. End of Days.
Okay.
End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Fights Satan or something.
Yeah, or a demon of some sort. A badly rendered demon.
Right. Like Spawn levels bad.
Yeah. That was forgettable movie. Yeah.
We've got My Favorite Martian, another terrible movie that stars Christopher Lloyd. Where he's
Does he play the Martian?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, well, watch it before you come back.
Marty, I'm a Martian.
Great.
I can't do it. I can't do a Christopher Lloyd impression.
Dudley Do Right. You know, Brandon Fraser giveth. Brandon Fraser giveth. Taketh away. You know, Dudley
friend
Do
of the podcast.
Yes, Dudley Do Right. One of the worst movies of 1999.
Yeah, I mean,
never saw it. Never wanted to see it. Terrible. Guarantee it. Positive. 100%. All right, moving on now to Idle Hands. Idle Hands. IDOL. Idle Hands, like American Idle Hands. Devon Sawa. It's a film where his hand becomes possessed by a demon and starts killing people, and he can't control it. And he gets into all sorts of wacky adventures.
I think I saw that a long time ago.
I saw it once a long time ago. It was terrible. I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's terrible. Let's go with that. Feel free to stop me if you guys have seen these or want to throw in one line or something you remember from it. Moving on. Okay. Wild Wild West with Will Smith.
Oh, God.
Wow. Yeah.
Great song, though.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the movie that Will Smith turned down The Matrix for. So props to you, Will. Props to you.
Well, Wild Wild West does have a half man guy.
Oh, God,
right?
yeah.
And,
right.
then a giant steampunk spider walking around.
Yep, it does have that.
I don't know what the fuck was going on in that movie.
It's Wiki Wild Wild. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was.
All right, moving
on.
Indeed. Okay. Inspector Gadget. That's another one. Terrible movie.
Oh, that's with what's his name?
Matthew Broderick.
From Godzilla. Yeah.
It's Ferris Bueller. Inspector Gadget. Just watch the cartoon, if anything. All right, we'll move on now to another worst movie of 1999, Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. Holy shit.
Rob Schneider's Reign of Terror
just begins. The cloud goes, the sky goes red. Yeah. Gets to Europe next and becomes like a
somebody
stapler.
thought he was like the next Adam Sandler or something, and
right. He's like a shorter, less funny Adam Sandler.
It's funny about Rob Schneider. I just saw that he was on Fox News.
Oh,
trashing the Democrats. So he's doing that thing now.
Got to get people
That's
to come see his
exciting.
shows. Hey, those people are gonna pay.
Got to get that done. Yeah.
We'll go see
yeah,
Rob
he's not funny, so he's
right.
gotta,
Exactly.
He's got to get the conservatives.
You got to do something to get that money.
They'll think he's funny.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
If you're not
Exactly,
funny,
yeah.
you're definitely gonna get conservatives on board.
Mhm.
All right, we get another terrible movie. The World Is Not Enough. The last James Bond film with, I believe, Pierce Brosnan, or maybe not. Maybe it was a couple years after that he stopped. I think there was one more, like The Day After Tomorrow After Today, or something. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Die Another Day?
Die Another Day. That's probably it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
The day before the dying after tomorrow
is not enough. Yes, the world is not. The World Is Not Enough. Terrible movie. Just kill James Bond already, but nope. All right.
He must be reborn.
Yes, again. All right, you got 3 left here. This one's a personal. I have seen this film. I didn't want to see it, but the reason I put it on here is because I have a funny little story for it. Notting Hill. Notting Hill. Putting that down as a worst movie of '99. I have seen this movie. It's a romantic comedy. So here's the thing. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think here as I scroll up. Trying to think of what movie I actually wanted to see, but at some point, my brother and my older brother and father, went to go see a Star Wars film, and I stayed home. And my mom said, "Well, I want to go hang out with the kid and go to a movie. So let's go to the drive-in." We go to the drive-in, and I think it was like might have been Mystery Men or something like that, which is on my worst movies list here. But it was Mystery Men or something like that, and then Notting Hill was the second one. So
what a weird double feature.
It probably wasn't Mystery Men.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't Mystery Men, but it's something that I would have wanted to have seen in 1999, and I didn't realize we were staying for the second movie. And so it's like, I'm on the cusp of high school, and I'm going to the drive-in on the weekend with my mom to go watch a romantic film till 2 a.m. It's weird. I've never been.
I think it's sweet.
No, I was never more uncomfortable than these, like all the sex scenes that would pop up, and God knows what else.
Wow.
It's just it's just you and your mom in the car. You don't want to go.
All the cars around you are rocking.
Right.
Like, it's getting real uncomfortable.
We're in like Stark County where that shit is popping all the time. People are always, but still.
People are always having sex in cars?
Yeah. Family members.
Stark County?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going for an incestual joke there, but it's all right. Move on now, but that's why I put that in there. Notting Hill, though, it actually isn't very good at all. It's Hugh Grant, Julia Roberts. It's these corny lines.
Hugh Grant, yeah.
Yeah, corny lines and whatnot. All right, and the last worst movie of 1999 is Bicentennial Man. With Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, yeah.
Yeah, he plays a robot.
Yep.
I tried to watch that a while back.
Yeah, it's
I've never seen it.
He's a robot that wants to be loved or learns
wants
how
to be
to
human.
love.
It's like Pinocchio and all that shit.
Yeah.
It's just it's
Sounds original.
It's just like, no, I'm leaking oil. I need a new trip. That's basically.
Oh no!
Hey, I'm a real boy now.
That's basically what it becomes. Swear to God. Yeah. So it's that.
Look at me. I got a hat on. I'm wearing a hat. Oh boy.
See it.
What am I smoking? I'm a smoker now.
Oh, English smoker. I'll say it, Bobby. Hey. All right.
That's the robot malfunctioning.
Yep.
Right.
Oh God! Shut him off! Shut him off!
Yeah, it's dying here. No, shortly.
He's going crazy.
Yeah.
Just shut him down.
All right, we will now. That'll do it for worst movies of 1999, and that'll do it for our movies for 1999. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of good movies, a lot of fantastic movies came out in 1990s. Could be the best decade for movies, maybe. I like it better than the 2000s
I don't know.
to the 2010. The 2000 from 2000 to 2009.
What about the 80s?
We're gonna find out.
So you said Mystery Men was not a good movie?
Yeah, try and watch it again. I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't. Never cared for it.
I liked it. I just didn't like Pee Wee Herman's character.
Oh, he grossed me out.
Yeah, it's really gross.
Was he the one that farted all the time?
Yeah. But I thought that Ben Stiller's character was hysterical, Mr. Furious.
Oh well, yeah. Well, yeah. Him and William H. Macy are
William
great.
H. Macy.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah. But I thought
it's such an outrage. I love the main antagonist character's name.
Casanova Frankenstein.
Casanova Frankenstein. It's just so outrageous, man. It's a classic. Honestly, I like that movie, except for Pee Wee Herman.
I get you.
Get rid of Pee Wee Herman.
Casanova.
I think the movie would have been a lot better.
All right, it might have been a jump. Maybe that's a suggested movie. I might switch it up. because Casanova Frankenstein is a ridiculous name.
It's so funny, dude.
But
It's
yeah,
so funny.
that's a funny name. All right. Well, thanks, guys. We'll now move on to the music section of 1999 with music of 1999. Here is the music of the 90s. We won't have to hear that again.
It'll be something far worse, I'm sure.
Yes, far, far worse. All right, albums that went number one in 1999. We got the Backstreet Boys' Millennium.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's got that's their best album, bar none. That's far and away.
Yeah.
That's their best
yeah.
one, easily.
Possibly one of the greatest albums of all time.
You don't have to go that far, but it's at least their greatest album. You know. We got the Chicks or the Dixie Chicks, Fly. That album, the Cowboy Take Me Away. You know.
Oh yeah. Classic.
All that stuff. Santana's Supernatural, Smooth. Well, it's just like the ocean. You know, yeah, they got Limp Bizkit, Significant Other.
There we go.
There it is. Number one. What? Number one in 99. Britney Spears, Baby One More Time went number one.
Yeah.
Right.
TLC's Fan Mail went number one in 99. DMX, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood went number one in 1999. And
Sounds family friendly.
Celine Dion, All the Way, A Decade of Song, went number one.
Greatest hits?
In 99, I think so. At least the last decade, which is basically her greatest hits.
Right.
Yeah, right, yeah.
My personal album picks for 1999, Blink-182's Enema of the State.
Oh, yeah.
That's classic pop punk. Maybe the quintessential pop punk album of all time.
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
Yeah. Red Hot Chili Peppers' Californication. One of the few albums of theirs that I actually like. So, yeah.
Oh, you didn't like Blood Sugar Sex Magic?
I like a couple songs. It's just not like oh man, that's a classic. Oh, that's a good one. You know, this is Californication.
I consider that a classic more over than,
this one.
Californication. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Not there's anything wrong with it. It's both. It was also on my personal album selection of 91 when I believe that came out. Because I'm pretty sure that came out the same day as Nevermind and something else. Anyway, Foo Fighters, There Is Nothing Left to Lose. Got a couple songs off there. I thought that's not bad. Rage Against the Machines, The Battle of Los Angeles was a personal album selection of mine.
Oh yeah, that's the first one I heard by them.
Oh, that
first album.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Guerrilla
I think
Radio.
My sister got it.
Really?
I believe, yeah. Guerrilla Radio. It had jump, Sleep Now in the Fire.
Oh
Sleep
yeah.
Now in the Fire. Yep.
Yeah.
That song fucking kicks ass.
Testify.
Yep.
Yeah.
Calm Like a Bomb.
When somebody's on like a Tony Hawk or something. Tony Hawk. Games?
Guerrilla Radio was.
Yeah, I think that's where I heard it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's this classic album. There's a pretty much every song on that album I like. Pretty much. A few more here. We got Dr. Dre's The Chronic, 2000.
Oh yeah.
That's a classic. Still gets played today. All the
awesome.
Time. Yeah. And my number one pick for 99, Sigur, Agaetis, Byrjun.
Oh yes, I love that album.
Yeah, it's like Agaetis, Byrjun or something like that.
It's got like that fetus or whatever on the.
Yeah, some people
the
get
alien
tattoos.
Angel fetus.
Some
people... someone might have a tattoo of it on their arm.
Yeah.
Some pretentious prick. Guarantee it. They let you know. But sorry. My favorite.
Those people suck.
Yes, man. I wish I could pronounce their fucking songs, because I would tell you that my favorite track off this album is Van. You know, it doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
The really long, long title.
Right. It's the one that I learned a little bit how to play on the piano.
Yeah, that beautiful piano.
I love it. It's my favorite. So good. Just Star. What's that called? Starlfruer. Yeah, that's a fantastic song. So many good. It's just from front to back. It's fantastic.
There's something about tripping on acid and listening to that album.
Yeah.
Like the fucking cosmos opens up when Yonzi bows his guitar. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just the sound of the universe. Yeah, there's something about that.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I can't say enough good things about this album, but the thing is, it's all like bits and pieces. It's hard to even make out what the hell I'm saying and what I'm even referring to or talking about because it's all foreign. I can't say. It's this song I can't pronounce at this part where it's like, and this part. Like, what are you saying? Nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And it's always fun when people notice my tattoo and I have to explain it to them. It's like, well, what kind of band is it? What kind of music is it? It's I don't know. Like, how do you explain that to someone who just listens to like regular music, like generic music?
Yeah, it's why I'm struggling now, but I cannot recommend that album enough. One of my favorite of the 90s.
Otherworldly.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
It's like alien music almost. I don't know. It's something.
I almost like forgot that came out in 99. So for some reason I thought that was like a 2000 album and I just skipped over it. But since that is in 99, it's going to be in my top 5 favorite albums of the 90s. With Radiohead's OK Computer being number 1. I'm not even sure where that would fall, where the Sigur album would fall. But that's for another day. But yeah, like I said, fantastic album. Cannot recommend it enough. We will move on to worst albums of 1999. Where do I start? Let's start with this one. Christina Aguilera's debut album. Christina Aguilera, Genie in a Bottle, all that bullshit.
Oh, What a Girl Wants.
Yeah, all that. Oh, yeah.
Good stuff.
Jesus.
We got Megadeth, Risk. The song of the album Risk from Megadeth.
I don't know.
Sounds lame.
Hold on, Brad's got
the
an
thing
opinion.
is, yeah, they totally went off the. That's why they called it Risk, because they made like more radio friendly.
It's like Broadway,
catchy music. God damn, it's really poorly regarded, but
it's amazing.
I don't know. I kind of like it. Some of it. I don't know.
Would you get a tattoo of anything to do with Risk?
Oh, of the album cover, which is like a hairless cat trying to get a mouse with a mousetrap and cheese. Yeah, I'd get that.
All right. Smash Mouth's Astro Lounge.
Dude, that's the best album.
Yeah,
of
fucking
90s,
all-star
of the 90s.
Might as well be Walking on the Sun.
Walking on the Sun's the prior album.
Yeah, that's a different album.
This
man.
literally only has All-Star.
Only has All-Star.
Astro Lounge, one of the greatest.
Yeah. What do you like about it? What sticks out to you?
It's what was it?
Because the hits start coming and they don't stop coming.
Back to the brewing, hit the ground running.
Running, yep.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense not to live for fun.
Your head gets smart, but your brain gets dumb.
Wait.
Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb.
I mean, there's so much to do, so much to see.
Because it was All Star, but it was can't get enough of you, baby. You know that one, right?
Oh yeah.
Then the morning comes.
I can't get enough of you, baby.
Yep.
Like that.
Yeah.
So that's in my worst album. Yeah, but I mean, we've got Savage Garden, Affirmation, one of the worst albums of 1999.
Oh, that they're still making music after Chicka Cherry Cola?
Yeah, this was the second album, I believe. I don't remember anything that was on it, but I put it on worst albums. Now we've got 3 left here. We're going to go with Korn's Issues as one of the worst albums of 1999. I owned the edited version of that. I bought it for $10 because I sold my Trapper Keeper to Timmy for $10. He gave me $10. I gave it to another guy. I gave him $10. He gave me Korn edited as a return, and I was so happy for a minute. And then I listened to the album for a few.
Oh, it's got Falling Away From Me on it, so that's pretty much it.
There's a couple songs on it that I remember, but I can't remember the title of them. But if I heard them, I'd be like, okay, that's off of Issues. I would know that. It doesn't matter. It's not a good album. It's not a good album. I don't care anymore. It's not. It's basically like the same.
You're talking about Korn?
Yeah, it's the same album as the previous one.
Issues?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. No, it's not good.
Okay.
We got
Corn.
all right. We got 2 left here. Let's see, which one do I mention first? All right, we'll do this one. Ricky Martin's debut album, Ricky Martin.
Oh fuck.
Yep.
Living La Vida
I
Loca.
thought, yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was Living
Yeah.
La Vida Loca. Yeah.
So you know where we're heading here soon.
Yeah. Didn't that go platinum?
Probably.
It
Like
probably
that.
did,
That
yeah.
is that's awful. I mean,
But
what
Ricky
a
Martin was
what a
hot
testament to
shit.
humanity. Dude.
And the last worst album of 1999, Creed, Human Clay.
Oh man.
And you take me higher. Yeah. If Esteban was here, he'd be throwing a fit.
I've got that album on vinyl.
You do?
Really?
As a gag gift.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, this has What If on it, right? Arms
Yep.
Wide Open.
What if- Oh yeah, beautiful song.
Higher, of course.
Uh-huh.
You know, all that stuff. Say I.
Say I. Oh man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just naming stuff off now. Never heard these songs before.
I think What
Doesn't
If's
it
the
have
first
What
track.
If? Yeah.
Yeah, What If? Yeah,
Yeah, that
is-
fucking
that's a
kicks
known
that album
song.
off.
What if?
Yeah.
What if? What
Yeah.
if? What if?
Down. I can't lie without a hater.
Remember
Yeah.
Scream 3? Remember Scream 3 DVD extras? That was
No.
the music
Yes.
video for that song was
Oh,
on
of
there.
course it was.
I think you're the only one that remembers Scream 3 DVD extras.
Yeah.
What
But
if?
yeah, I do know what you
What if?
mean. Yeah.
So
was it
U2
the same one with like Coolio and
No, it was the same with
Or not
Cottonmouth
Coolio.
Kings. Cottonmouth Kings.
Cottonmouth Kings? That's right.
You remember it as well, so
Good
don't
God.
don't claim it's just me.
No, I know.
All right. We will now move into the top songs of 1999. And the number 1 top song of 1999 was Cher's Believe. Cher's
Oh
Believe.
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Another top song of 1999, TLC's No Scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's-
off the
that's a
album.
good song.
Solid.
Our mom liked that song. She liked the No Scrubs song. Our
You know,
dad,
it's a double negative because it really means they want scrubs. I don't want no scrubs.
I don't want no. Yeah, so that would mean that they want scrubs. Yeah.
Exactly.
Huh. Someone should fix that.
Yeah.
been running. Yeah, I
Too
know.
late, dude.
It's too late now. I think there's like a precedent. Like once it's 20 years, it's too late. Don't worry about it. Britney Spears, "Baby One More Time."
Yep.
Yeah.
Hit me, baby.
Which I believe this was obviously Britney Spears didn't write any of her music, doesn't write any of the songs, doesn't have anything to do with any of it. Whoever wrote this doesn't even, I don't think had like an English translation.
He
They
was
don't
like
speak
Swedish
English.
or something. Yeah.
And they think they thought hit meant something else, or they were
No,
under the
it meant
impression.
like hit. It was like hit me up,
Like,
like
hit
on
me
the
up.
phone,
Yeah.
like call me.
Yeah.
But it got somehow shortened or lost in translation to just
Yeah.
hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just sounds like she wants physically abused me just one more time, you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
I remember some churches tried to say "hit me" was like a sexual thing, and it's like getting all the girls. It just fuck, you know, it always gets weird. Sixpence None the Richer, "Kiss Me," and classic song there. It's a nice little
Yeah, that's a
song.
good
That's a nice little song.
Yes, a nice little song. Yeah.
Yeah. Christina Aguilera, "Genie in a Bottle."
You got to rub her the right way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
God. Sugar Ray, "Every Morning."
Oh yeah.
Sugar Ray is awesome, dude.
I mean, I don't know enough about Sugar Ray to
That's good.
confirm nor deny that. So
Keep that the way it is. We got Jennifer Lopez, "If You Had My Love." If you had my love. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
Come to me. Yeah, something like that. I only remember that because I have to look these songs up, and I was like, oh god, I remember that. So I try and remember the melodies because I guarantee you nobody's gonna remember Jennifer Lopez, "If You Had My Love." So that falls on me. Goo Goo Dolls, "Slide" came out in 1999, one of the top sons of the year. Goo Goo Dolls.
That's a pretty great song.
Yeah, that reminds me of jump rope-a-thons in junior high. To have those, and they
I
played
remember those.
Slides. Yeah. You got
Why you just slide?
thing about Goo Goo Dolls is I learned was it name like a while back, but like every string on the guitar was like tuned to D, except for like 2 strings. It's not even like, they have like a C sharp tuning or something like that. It's nothing like that. It's just him tuning every string to a certain note and then playing it, coming up with something. And so it's incredibly easy to play, but really difficult on your guitar. Like you can break your strings just tuning.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like an open tuning or something.
Yeah. But we'll move on now to George Strait's "Write This Down," another top song in 1999.
Oh yeah, baby, write this down.
Take a little note. Remind you in case you didn't know. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Why does it?
It's awesome.
Just because, in case I forget to tell you everything that I'm telling you right now, just write it down. Yeah. All right. Backstreet Boys.
Too much energy to tell you over and over again. Just read.
Just read it, woman.
Read it. Shut the fuck up. Read it.
Write this down so I don't have to keep fucking saying it.
Right. Yeah. I'm sick of it. Sick of this shit.
Amarillo by morning if you don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm Amarillo now.
Backstreet Boys, "I Want It That Way," another top song of 1999. That's one of those songs where it's like if you start singing it, you just kind of continuously
was
sing
that on Millennium?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a... See, you just jump right into it. If Sly was on the episode, he'd be going off right now. He would be singing every line, and it's a good song. It's a good song.
And Sly would be complimenting me on my singing abilities.
I don't know if I go that far, but he might.
He said I sounded really good when I sang the, "I want to be your wish, you want to be your dream, your fantasy" song by Savage Garden.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I sang that beautifully.
Yeah.
You guys just don't appreciate it.
That's what it is. We just don't appreciate you.
Yeah,
exactly. At least that part of it. We got Smash Mouth's "All Star." Yeah. That's another top song.
God, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I used to walk down the hall. I used to not get my ass, because I was in 8th grade. That's the only reason I didn't get my ass kicked. Walk down the hallways in 8th grade, fellow classmate and I, we just start singing this song at the top of our lungs.
You are lucky you were in 8th grade.
Exactly. There's no way I get away with that.
Any other grade, or if you're like a freshman the next year, you'd be you probably wouldn't be around anymore.
No, I'd be buried alive. All right. That song didn't really become popular till Shrek. Shrek just took that song and added a whole other thing.
Shrek. Yeah.
Yeah. This is another class. This is a classic one. Eagle Eye Cherry, "Save Tonight."
Save Tonight. Yep.
Save
Fight the break of dawn.
Fight the break of dawn.
Yeah.
Come tomorrow.
The break of dawn.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys sing that beautifully.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't patronize us. Don't patronize us. Enrique Iglesias, "Balamos." Balamos. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's an intense song, man.
Yeah.
Dude, take some cocaine and blare that song, man.
Yeah, that song's got some.
You're gonna need
it. That song has some Latin heat to it.
Oh yeah,
the Latin rhythms of the night.
It's like it's like the chicken and the egg. What came first, the cocaine or Balamos or the cocaine? Who knows? We got Everlast.
Can't have one without the other.
No, I really can't. Everlast, "What It's Like." That song came out in 99. Top song in 99. One of them.
That's a kind of a cool song.
What it's like.
It really makes you think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, did you ever walk a mile in someone else's shoes, or whatever the fuck he's talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what he's talking about, but something about what it's like. Yeah. Another one.
I'm not even gonna get into that.
Shania Twain, "Man, I Feel Like a Woman." That was another top song. Yeah.
Let's go, girls.
Yeah, how could you not dance to that? It's one of those songs you always dance to. Yeah. I'm pretty sure someone I don't know, I have a couple of friends, they went on a trip to go see a band, and they sent me a video of them listening to this song on their way down to this trip. It was
it gets you going.
It was blasting. They're blasting it. And the thing is, no one looked at him strange. They were like, "That sounds about right. That sounds about right." Yeah.
I mean, you don't even have to be a woman. You could be man, woman, or Miscellaneous.
Yeah. You can even just feel like a woman.
Yeah.
There.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Man. All right. You got Lenny Kravitz, Fly Away. How's that song?
Oh, yeah. I want to get away.
I want to get away.
Yep. Yeah. Gotta get away.
Yeah. Oh, God. Lenny Kravitz, Fly Away, another top song of 1999. We've got Red Hot Chili Peppers, Scar Tissue. Yeah. That's a good one.
That's a great song.
Third Eye Blind's Jumper. I bet you want to
damn.
my friend. Yep.
me.
We got Lauryn Hill's Doo Wop That Thing. Where's that? Is that
Yes.
Something like that. You know, yeah, that
I'm not
thing.
sure about
That thing.
no.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, we got Sean
know.
Mullins' Lullaby. She loves down from the stars. You know that guy's Hollywood and the boulevards. He sings like that, and he's like,
Fuck, he sings like a creeping serial killer.
No, he really does. You never heard this song? Swear to God,
not
put it
sure.
on. Put it on right now. Play it. Play Sean Mullins' Lullaby. And he's like, their parents were popular. Everyone was there. Hung out with Dennis Hopper, Bob Seger, and Sonny and Cher. And then it's like,
Dude, you're scaring me. Oh, it's that song. Okay.
Swear to God, that's how it
Oh
sounds.
my God, you're right. And Sonny and Cher.
Turn it up, see if I can hear it through the speakers. I wonder.
What?
Let your neighbors know what you're listening to. Yeah. See?
Oh,
Yeah, did you hear that?
Firefax.
that's weird.
No, you can't relax.
What is this? What is this again?
Lullaby.
This fucking song.
Oh,
Yep.
that
gonna
fucking
be
song.
Lullaby.
Oh God.
Oh, Rockabye. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
no. He
Rockabye,
says
yeah.
lullaby, then he says rockabye. Or
Oh,
something like
okay.
that. Yeah, no, you got it. I was just going
This,
along
this
with
song just derailed the whole podcast.
you. Yeah, it did. I just like the fact you can turn it up really loud so your neighbors can hear you listening to a lullaby by Sean Mullins at like 9 p.m. That'll be good.
Oh no, I had that was going through the headphones. I just
Oh.
kind of smashed the headphone onto the microphone.
Oh, that works. All right. So yeah, that's a top song. It's not even in my worst songs. It's top songs of 1999. Another one we got Tal Bachman. She's So High.
Oh, of course.
So high. Yeah. Cleopatra, Joan of Arc.
Joan.
Oh yeah.
Or Aphrodite,
Yeah.
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 for that matter.
Yeah. That's another top song.
It's a catchy song.
He's like the son of Bachman from Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Gotta use. Yeah. He got the one song.
care of business.
We'll get up every morning. I can.
Just fuck both of those songs.
Yeah, fuck the Bachmans. All right.
Yeah.
Faith Hill's "Breathe" was a top song of '99. Faith Hill.
Yeah, that's that's a song.
Trying to remember how that goes.
Fuck, I know the song. Yeah, I can't.
Here's that. I can feel you breathe. Something of it.
Okay,
Yeah,
yep.
that's it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's all I remember. We got Sarah McLachlan, "Angel." Spend all your time waiting. Angel.
Oh,
Angel. Yeah, the
is
song that
the
plays in the background. Yes, plays in the
Yeah,
background.
all the sad dogs and cats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got Santana featuring Robert Thomas. Smooth. Well, it's
Yeah.
just like the ocean.
Yeah.
And then we've got the last one for my selection for 99. Len, "Steal My Sunshine."
Oh,
I was
Jesus.
lying on the grass.
Yep.
the morning of last week.
Steal my sunshine.
Oh God, how cringy. Yeah. I know it's not for me.
If you steal my sunshine.
I like how they're like on like fucking mopeds and shit.
Yeah, a bunch of Vespas cruising around.
Yeah, with Vespas cruising around.
Fuck. When someone steal
Man,
their sunshine, I don't.
The
Anybody.
fucking
Yeah.
90s.
All right.
Right.
You wanna
Rob
move
them
on?
of their life.
Yeah. Jesus.
Sorry. Just steal the sunshine.
All right.
Yeah, just steal their sunshine. That's
Steal their sunshine.
At the very least. All right. We will now move on to the worst songs of 1999. No, that wasn't it. This is it.
Yeah,
now.
I was gonna say
That wasn't us.
I know you guys think. I know.
Jesus.
This is it right now. Worst songs of 1999. I'm going to start off with Mark Chestnut. I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. That's right. He copied Aerosmith's Country Artist Does It Again. Copies of.
Oh, I think that's the mistake I made when we're talking about that song for Armageddon.
Oh, because you.
I got it mixed up.
Oh.
Right? I thought it was the Mark Chestnut song, and then Aerosmith covered it, but no, it's the opposite.
No.
right.
Yes. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So yeah, that's on my worst songs of '99. We've got Will Smith featuring Drew Hill, Cool Mo D, Wild Wild West, Wow Wow,
That song rules.
Desperada. Oh, you don't want nada, none of this. Yeah. Anyway, we've got. Let's see. Let's do Brian McKnight, Back at One, where I hate songs where they count like in the lyrics, unless it's worth it and it's got a point behind it. But this song
Is that the one? And it starts back at one.
Yep, that's
that
it.
one.
Is that one? You'd like a
Jesus.
dream come true.
Oh yeah, dude.
It'd be really funny if he gets to like 1,264.
How long is this?
How
song?
long is this song?
and you close the door. 1,265.
I'm sorry, sir. You used that same rhyme for 1,500,000.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
For 100.
The song is still going to this day.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Someone just start back at one. He starts back at one.
1,396,000,000,000,000,000.
There's a live stream of it. He's like dead. He's barely going.
And it starts back at one.
That's when he dies.
Yep.
Right,
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He just falls over on his stool. The greatest song ever recorded. It's 30 years long.
It's only when he believes his work is done. That's when he starts back at one.
Right.
That's
Right.
right. I couldn't remember that lyric. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you, Brian McKnight, for that stuff. Shit. All right, we've got another worst song of '99, Juvenile featuring Manny Fresh, Lil Wayne, Back That Thing Up. Call me back daddy when you're back daddy. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah, that's that one song.
Dude, that song also rules.
Yeah. So
It's so aggressive.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
can you play it? Is that the right song? I might have. I think for some reason I thought it was Back Your Ass Up, but it might just be edited. I'm sorry. That's a lot of people featuring Little and Manny and Juvenile and all this shit. But yeah, I mean, back that thick. It should be like. Oh no, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Call me Big Daddy when you're back daddy.
Yeah,
He's
it's
a fine
different.
motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah, you were thinking of Back That Ass Up,
See, that's right. Okay. Back that thing up.
which I believe is a later date.
It's the same thing they're backing up. So, don't sue me. All right.
Yeah.
We got Ricky Martin's Livin' La Vida Loca. Funny thing is, I've got an uncle who's not really an uncle anymore. I mean, he's kind of an uncle. I mean, his daughters are my cousins, two of them. But I remember he's from my limited experiences with him, he can be quite the homophobic person, but he loved Ricky Martin's Livin' La Vida Loca. So
How ironic.
what I think is most often the case is the people that are overt, like just incredibly homophobic for no reason, are usually probably kind of gay themselves in some way. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hate themselves, so they have to hate others.
I think there's a little bit of something
It's
like
a
that.
psychological thing, yeah.
So he's very clean cut, well kept, put together, got his convertible, and he's blasting Livin' La Vida Loca. Let it fly, man. I don't give a shit. But it's one thing. When I heard Livin' La Vida Loca, when I found out later that Ricky Martin was gay after hearing Livin' La Vida Loca, I was like, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I'll move on now to another worst songs of '99. LFO Summer Girls. Remember this song? You remember that song?
Oh, Summer Girls.
Nope, don't remember it.
Yeah, that was the one.
New kids on the block had a
Yeah.
bunch of kids. Chinese
Yeah.
makes me sick.
That's right.
I got the most amazing lyrics I have
Something
ever heard in my life.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
That's
I
right.
like
Yeah.
girls that wear
Girls who
Abercrombie,
wear
and,
Abercrombie
Fitch.
and Fitch.
Take it if I
Yep,
had
yep.
one wish. She's been gone
Mhm.
since that summer. Since that summer. It's like
Yeah, that song doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin
Something about
was at home
Michael
alone.
Keaton or
Yeah.
something.
No, it's like Michael J. Fox was Alex P. Keaton. You know,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
the great
Yeah.
Larry Bird jersey 33. When you take a sip,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
buzz like a hornet. Billy Shakespeare wrote a whole bunch of sonnets, something like that.
Yeah,
He
it's
sure did.
a complete nonsensical
Yeah,
song.
it doesn't make any sense. Black
Yeah.
hip hop and rock and roll. Oh wait, that might be Swayze. Fuck, I don't know. I think it's
Oh
like very
boy,
similar.
they're like the same song. aren't
Same
they?
sort of fucking deal. Yeah. Fun fact: the lead singer died of heroin. All right, we'll move on.
Swayze?
That
No,
is
LFO. LFO.
No, oh, right. Yeah. Well,
I mean, I'll take either.
LFO guy took a bunch of hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
Nice.
might be.
No, Chinese food wasn't what made him sick.
It might have. Might have had something to do with
Also, the
it.
heroin made him sick.
Right, it was definitely the heroin.
Probably a
Chinese food.
little bit of both. You don't mix heroin and sweet and sour sauce, so everyone knows that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely don't do that.
All right. Well, we all know that'll do it for music of 1999. Thanks, fellas. Thank you. Okay. We will now move into TV shows of 1999.
Tossed salads and scrambled eggs. Everywhere you look.
All right. That's
Yeah,
less-
that's one last for the 90s.
Well, we'll see. I might sample it and just include it in the. Like, always include it.
Yes, you definitely should.
Just throw it in there and post edit.
They'll always-
so no one
yeah,
knows when it's
always-
going to show up.
Oh God.
All right. All right. We will now move into the TV shows that debuted in the year 1999. Family Guy. Family Guy debuted in 99. My first impressions
Yeah.
of Family Guy, I hated it. I hated it. I thought it wasn't funny, and the cutaways killed it. That's what really the show annoyed me. I remember trying to watch it and being really annoyed by the cutaways. Like, what is this?
Really?
Yes, and isn't that strange? Yeah, I remember that was the reason I didn't watch it. It was just like I was watching what was going on. Like that one time I did this and this and this, and it shows up, and I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? And I just
Right.
the humor didn't resonate with me, and that was it. I watched The
See,
Simpsons and South Park, and that was it.
I liked the cutaways because they were so random.
Yeah, that's very strange. Yeah, for me, I hated them because they were. I remember that being the main reason. Sorry, go on, Brett. Or unless you have
No,
nothing
that's all
else
I
to add.
got.
Yeah.
For Family Guy, I was
yeah.
into it when it came out. Bought the DVD box sets, the first 3 seasons before it got canceled, and it should have remained canceled.
Yeah,
but that's
Yeah.
neither here nor there because it's still going. It's going to this
Yeah,
day, as far as I know.
I absolutely love the first few seasons of Family Guy. It's just some really great bits that I just die laughing in. However, it has really, really fallen off over the years, and I just don't care about it anymore.
Right.
Because every character's kind of become something completely different. And like originally when the show came out, I remember Stewie was like this evil baby genius that wanted to kill his mom.
Yes.
Right. And now he's just, I don't know, he's just gay. I guess that's what his character is. Like he's not it's nothing. Like it's not anything. You know what I mean? Like, so what?
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
it was
and
way
like,
better when he was an evil genius with like a secret underground lab and shit.
Yeah, he had like a ray gun and
yeah. Yeah.
And then Brian was just like this dry, sarcastic dog.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
he's like a political it's like
yep.
political commentary.
Right. Yeah.
it's-
And Peter is like just this lovable idiot, and it's just it was a really great show early on. It really was. I know that the cutaways were like a new thing, and it's interesting that you say that because from what I know, Trey Parker, Matt Stone, that's the reason why they don't like Family Guy is because of all the cutaways.
Oh yeah, I found that out after the fact. Well, the thing is, so that's when I first watched the show in '99. I didn't like the cutaways, and then like 2003, 2004, Family Guy is
Yeah.
canceled, and the DVDs are out. And some friends
Yes.
actually own the DVDs, the first 3 seasons, and I fell in love. I loved that show. I watched every single episode. I watched the commentary on every episode. I got as much as I could because it was canceled. It was over with, and I just thought it was fantastic. Right. The cutaways didn't bother me in the slightest bit. They did when it first came out, but
Yeah.
then when it got brought back, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be great, and it just wasn't. It wasn't terrible, but it just didn't have the same thing, and it was a lot of rehashed jokes, and it's a shame because the show probably could have been canceled the year it was brought back from being canceled, and that would have been good, you know. Just run it out to there, call it a day. But
Yeah.
now every animated show's got to try and keep up with the Simpsons and South Park, because I think the Simpsons are in like their 30th season or something like that. Which this might be a good time to transition to Simpsons because it is Family Guy.
Yeah.
The Simpsons.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, it's 1999, the last year that The Simpsons was on before, the show ended.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Am I right?
Well,
Yes.
in terms of
I
quality.
mean, like ended as in quality. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a show that's
Right.
called The Simpsons
It's not really.
nowadays,
but it's not The
The
Simpsons.
Simpsons. Yeah,
No.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Simpsons ended at the end of the 90s.
Well, what do you think? You wanna start the questionnaire now, or you think we just wait till the
Let's
end?
do it. Let's just
All
get
right.
right into it.
Yeah, I got a little surprise treat, quote unquote. We're gonna do another questionnaire here. We have not talked about The Simpsons, which is a real shame for the '90s, because that's really was the show of the '90s. Although because it didn't
least,
start in the '90s, is the reason that it was never brought up. It didn't. It managed to fall through the cracks of all the criteria that I used to put stuff in for these decades in reviews. So it's one of my all-time favorite shows. The seasons 1 through 9, 8, basically.
Yeah,
for
something
me.
like that. Yeah.
It's bar none. I think it's the most brilliant show maybe ever. As much as I love Seinfeld as my number one, my favorite show, if you were to tell me that The Simpsons was better than Seinfeld, I couldn't hold it against it. I couldn't say anything against it. It's just a brilliant show. We're all lovers of The Simpsons here, and we had a lot of fun with the Seinfeld questionnaire quiz show that we did last episode. So we thought we'd, talk about The Simpsons for a minute and then jump into another questionnaire, a real quick one for The Simpsons. Go ahead, Brad.
Well, what I want to say about The Simpsons, I grew up with it. The whole family did. Pretty much all throughout my childhood, watched it every day because it was, reruns every evening on Fox. And then the new episodes every Sunday evening. So, at least the first, I don't know, mostly for me, seasons 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 as well. I've seen all those episodes 1,000 times each. I fall asleep to a random season of The Simpsons usually. And, always talked about it at school with the other kids. Everyone was into The Simpsons. It was a huge thing.
Oh yeah, I mean,
So
merchandising, insane. Bart Simpson was the kid of the '90s. He was animated though, but he was the new age Dennis the Menace.
I definitely probably watched The Simpsons more than any other show.
Oh, for sure. We weren't allowed to watch The Simpsons growing up. We weren't allowed to watch them.
Right.
I tried to.
Thankfully we were.
Which was actually interesting that you bring that up, because there's this one point that because I shared a room with my sister, right? And we had a black and white TV we got in there at one point, like this turn dial one. Do you remember that, Chris?
Yeah, I gave it to you.
Yeah. And The Simpsons, we got on it. We were able to get The Simpsons in on it. And I'll never forget that because like we were able to watch The Simpsons in our room without, at least I was,
Yeah.
without the parents knowing, and I thought that was great. But I ended up actually watching The Simpsons more with a family that was actually a pastor of a church. He would watch it every Sunday evening, and I would be there with him watching it with us, because I was friends with his son. Who was
Right.
watching it too. So yeah.
What's interesting, he's okay with it, but our own parents are like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, exactly. I know, right? Like he was cool with a lot of stuff like Monty Python stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I
Oh,
watch
yeah,
Holy
nice.
Grail and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, cool guy. Yeah.
All right. Well, Brad,
Shall we do it?
let's do it.
So, I have the Ultimate Simpsons trivia game from the year 2002, consisting of 400 Ultimate Simpsons trivia cards, having 2,000 trivia questions over 5 levels of difficulty. I have them stacked up, a giant stack of cards, a comically large stack of cards, with all the questions. I'm going to randomly select a card and a question. I'm going to put it straight down on my desk because the answers are on the back because I want to be a part of this as well. I don't know. Not going to do points. I don't even know how many questions we're going to do. Like 10 maybe? I don't know.
All right.
Some of these will probably be... I don't know what difficulty I should select. Maybe I'll just start with the hardest.
That makes sense. Usually people
Yeah.
start with the easiest. But,
Well, easy I feel like it's going to be too easy.
Well,
I'm just going to randomly pick a question.
Okay.
It might be hard, it might be easy. So, which Simpsons character's image has been on a real-life space shuttle mission patch? Real life. Wow. Any guesses? I have no idea. I would just say like Homer, probably, because Homer went to space.
I'm going to guess the aliens. The alien creatures with the
Oh,
one
Kane
eyeball.
and Kodos?
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Nick,
It
any
is-
guesses?
It is Homer.
Oh.
Nope, I already
Yeah,
answered it.
Homer was probably a good guess, honestly, because I was thinking Homer when he was in space.
Yep.
He
That's
releases
exactly
the
what
ants.
That's what I figured.
The ant overlords.
Well, in their sugar caves.
I, for one, welcome our new insect overlords. Kent Brockman just sells out humanity immediately.
Where do they get that? Where do they get that graphic so quick?
Oh yeah.
You're the Kent Brockman with the Matrix, Brad. You're selling out your family and friends so you can live in a
Yeah, I'd be Kent Brockman too. I'd join up with the ants and help round
Right.
up humans.
Yeah.
All right, second question. True or false? You get hit in the face with squirting water when you ring Krusty's doorbell.
True.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And
That's
then
when
Homer
he
keeps doing
gets
it,
the
or Bart keeps doing it if somebody. Sorry, go on.
it's the free trampoline, the trampoline.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, it was Homer, and he keeps doing it. He's like, please don't waste that
Yeah.
water. It's seltzer or something like that.
Yeah, that seltzer ain't cheap. Oh. Third question. What is Apu's nephew's name?
Oh God.
That's his...
The guy that works
Isn't it
with him?
Sanjay?
I wouldn't
Yeah.
know. I don't remember. I have no idea.
Any guesses, Nick?
I have not. Babu.
It is... Whoa. Wait, is that right? What is Apu's nephew's name? Number 4. Jamshed?
Jamshed?
Yeah, I guess. I don't fucking know. Fourth question. Alright, this is multiple choice. What does the old Radioactive Man #1 comic smell like, according to Millhouse? An old barn, his grandfather, or history?
I'm gonna say his grandfather.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. That's an old one. That's... Yeah, where they share the comic book.
That's him, Martin, and Millhouse, right? Bart, Martin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is his grandfather.
Woohoo! Oh, wrong one.
Oh my god.
Shit. There it is. That's the one I wanted.
Question the 5th. What 4th grade class did Principal Skinner used to teach?
What 4th grade class did he used to teach? I have no idea.
Yeah, neither do I. Nick's got nothing on.
Oh, sorry, I guess I got disconnected.
What 4th grade class did Principal Skinner used to teach?
What fourth grade class?
Yeah,
like a type of like
I'm guessing
education. I don't know. English. I don't know.
It is science. Question 6. How tall is Marge from the floor to the top of her hair?
7'2".
It's something like that. That's when Marge accidentally robs the Quickie Mart and goes to jail.
Oh, right.
When Apu's like, step to your left, and Apu's got the height markers next to the door.
Oh yeah.
And he says it to himself as he's writing it down. Yeah. Oh my God, I don't know. You said 7'2". I'd say 8'4". Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna go 6'8".
Ooh, 8'6".
Oh,
that was closest.
Holy shit, that's ridiculous.
7th question. Oh, this is multiple choice, but it doesn't need to be multiple choice. Who thinks it is impossible that he'd fail English?
Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Me fail English?
That's impossible. Ralph Wiggum. Yay, I won!
Yeah, I won. Nelson was failing a bunch of stuff, but you're doing quite well in home ec.
Keep it down, man.
Hey, I keep it down.
Lisa. Jim? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Throws a touch, she can't even get it. Yeah.
Yeah, in front of all the kids, and she's like, defeated.
That's Lisa on Ice. That's a good one.
Yes.
All right, what are we on? Question 7?
8.
8. Okay.
What song displaces "We're Sending Our Love Down the Well" from the #1 spot?
Oh.
That's when Bart falls down the well, and they had that big
Timmy O'Toole
sting. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Then it's later on after he gets found out to be a fraud. I think it's on the TV. It's like, such and such song has taken the #1 spot over "We're Sending Our Love Down the Well." I have no idea.
Something against what? Something like throw his ass down the well or something like that. I don't know. That's something along those lines. That's my guess.
No, it's "I Do Believe We're Naked" by Funky C. Funky Do. Okay. Yeah, the hard questions are very hard.
Takes the #1 spot.
Oh. Where do the Simpsons move to when Homer goes to work for Hank Scorpio?
Oh, man.
Did they watch the video?
It's like Pleasant Hills or something like that.
Yeah, it's Crystal something. It is Cypress Creek.
Cypress Creek. Okay.
All right, well, if we're doing 10, this is number 10 for all the marbles.
For 1 billion points.
For 1 trillion points.
Wow. That's
Should
a
be
lot.
Physical challenge?
Let's see. I'm actually kind of looking through them now.
Oh. I'm going to put a Jeopardy music right here in this whole section.
Yeah, or just cut it all out.
Yeah, I'm probably going to cut it all out. There's no way this makes it to post. No way I'd show anybody. No way. The edit.
No.
Clear.
None of this is going to show up at all.
I'm going to cut half the episode.
All right. Here.
Right.
Who tells Ralph Wiggum to burn things?
The leprechaun friend.
Mm-hmm.
Evil leprechaun.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep, the leprechaun. Yeah.
Burn.
He tells me to burn things.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right.
Man, I could keep going with this. This is some good stuff.
Thank you, Brad. We should have.
We'll make an entire 3-hour-long episode, and we'll go through all 2,000 questions.
We'll tally up points then.
Yes, we will.
All right, Chris, you have 1,562. Yeah. Nick, you have 706.
I think it'd be like a multi-episode extravaganza. Like the next few months is just going through 2,000 questions.
Jesus Christ!
Everyone subscribes.
And each question, of course, we're going to be like making the references and quoting everything, and it'll be a nightmare.
Good Lord.
Maybe I'll just do that myself. I'll make my own podcast where I just talk about every single Simpsons trivia question.
And then give the answer, or guess it yourself?
Guess it myself, by myself, and then see the answer, and then
let everyone know.
References to myself.
Yeah.
Talk about the episode and all that.
Yeah, it'd be horrible.
Horribly good.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. We will. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Brad. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, it was nothing.
All right. We will now move on now. We'll continue our TV shows that debuted in the year 1999 with The Sopranos. Debuted in 1999.
Oh, yeah.
Woke up this morning, got myself a gun.
I hear that's a good show.
It's a fantastic show. Now, the problem with it, though, is that we've been spoiled with better shows, right? That have done what The Sopranos did then, right? So we saw it done better later on, you know what I mean? So at least for me. So when I rewatched The Sopranos, like nothing was really surprising. Nothing was really like, oh, that's so cool. I can't believe that. But I could see, where all of these other shows got their start from, basically like ideas and where they can take TV, because back then, like killing someone on television like they did in Sopranos on HBO was fucking hardcore then,
Right.
Now it's just an everyday thing.
So they kind of set the bar.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you haven't seen The Sopranos, you should definitely check it out. But I'm just saying that, we're spoiled these days, so it's not going to be as amazing as everyone says.
I've already seen like the final scene of the show, so it doesn't make any goddamn sense with "Don't Stop Believin'" playing and the whole lead up to. I'm assuming something happens, but you don't see it. I don't know.
Right. It's the ending is up for interpretation, but if you haven't seen the show, there's things that lead up to that moment that make you understand, obviously, what's going on. And
yeah, I really jumped the gun.
Yeah,
you probably couldn't jump the gun more than how you jumped the gun.
Yeah, I've never even seen the first scene of the show. I've only seen the last.
I watched the first 3 seasons or 2 seasons or whatever it was. I got mobbed out. Unlike when the show was released and came out, it was a week-to-week basis.
Right.
So you'd get 1 episode a week,
Oh,
and then you'd wait 6-7 months. Now I can watch the entire thing in a day or not a day, obviously can't do that, but like in like a few days time if I really wanted to. And I watched, like I said, 2-3 seasons of it, and I need to take a break, and I never went and revisited it. And it's been so long now, I'm probably going to have to restart the whole damn thing.
That's a big problem with shows like that. Even like Breaking Bad, trying to binge that whole show. It's too much. You need to like decompress between episodes.
Just recently, Des and I actually watched like the whole universe. Basically, it took us like 3 months, but we watched all of Better Call Saul, into Breaking Bad, into El Camino. It was a hell of a grind.
Yeah,
but it was awesome. Totally worth it. If you're a fan of the series, do that. Do yourself a favor and do that. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. I just started watching Ozark, so I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
I'm gonna probably stick with that.
Is the new season out?
I think it's done. It's over with.
Oh, it's done. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
it's like the last season. Yeah. That's the last one I need to watch.
Yeah, I watched the first episode of Ozark forever ago. I mean, like years ago.
Right.
And then I just never bothered to pick it up from me on there. And decided to give it another go last night. So we'll move on now to
Nice.
Futurama. Came out in 1999. Never really watched it.
I watched the first episode of this actually literally just the other day because I've heard it's good and I've been wanting to watch it. And
Yeah.
the first episode was good. It was really good.
Yeah.
Definitely want to keep watching the show.
I don't doubt that it's good. It's Matt Groening and it's
Right.
Simpsons. You can totally it's all over the
Right.
Simpsons. So there are people that say Futurama is better than the Simpsons, and they would have been crazy if they'd said that back in '99. But nowadays, if they're going with the current state of the Simpsons and Futurama, they're probably right. I'd say Futurama.
Well, Futurama only had how many total seasons? It got canceled.
Did it?
Then came back, and then got canceled again, then came back.
No shit.
Yeah, something like that. It has like 15 seasons, I think, total.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been going around. Yeah, like you said though, it did get canceled and brought back. I think only once, maybe twice, but
I thought
pretty
maybe
sure once.
I thought twice.
All right. Another top TV show that debuted in '99, Freaks and Geeks. Great show.
Oh, yeah, it's a great show.
One season. It lasted one season. It debuted and ended in '99.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I would have loved to have seen where that all went, but it is what it is. If you've never seen a show, I mean, it's a really great show about being
Coming of age
story in the '80s.
Yep.
And kids and freshmen in high school. His sister's a junior in high school, and they were gonna go on for a few seasons, probably last for 4 or 5. Yeah, it would have been good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who's scratching?
Oh, that's me. Sorry about that.
Oh Jesus!
I was rubbing my beard.
Oh
Scratching.
God!
I didn't hear anything.
I just hear this.
I had my head tipped over to the side. I didn't realize you could hear that.
That's not staying. That's not staying in.
No, I'm gonna.
We're taking all of
Oh
this.
God!
You can hear that?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's been going on for a little bit, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then it stopped. I was like, "Okay, maybe it was just me." And then
it's now an ASMR podcast.
Oh no.
The gentle scratching sounds.
No.
We'll move on. But now, Freaks and Geeks, it's worth. I don't even know what the hell you said there, Nick. All I could focus on was on the scratching of the beard. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's a shame that only lasted one season.
It is.
But you'll get attached to all the characters. Got some really good storylines, and then it just ends. So, but who knows? Maybe it would have sucked in season 2, and we wish it would have ended. So who knows? I think it all worked out for the best for everyone involved anyway. We'll move on now to SpongeBob SquarePants. Was a show that debuted in '99. Never once watched a single episode of that show.
Some of the older episodes are really good, actually.
Yeah, they are.
I highly recommend it. Yeah, what's up? Go ahead.
Oh, I was forced to watch it with a girl I was seeing at the time. Not back in '99, of course, but
right.
She was really into SpongeBob, and so she showed me a lot of the older episodes, and yeah, they're pretty good.
I mean, they're good. Yeah, it's nothing like amazing, like it's the greatest show ever, but it's not bad, right? It's some of it's actually pretty funny. Definitely recommend checking it out.
All right. Another show that came out, Law and Order SVU. Yeah.
Nope.
Never watched it. I don't care. I don't understand these. I don't understand these shows about lawyers, about cops, about medics, about EMTs, about firefighters, about every damn thing we do. Like the socialized part of the country. That's all these people.
Right.
I don't know. And people get these jobs. They think they're going to be like these crazy adventures, and they're not.
And it's still going on to this day with what is it? Chicago Fire, Chicago PD.
Right.
And then there's another one, Chicago ER people or whatever.
So cheesy, man.
My mom loves those shows.
Oh God.
Sometimes they have crossover episodes. Like
do.
Chicago PD will show up with the Chicago Fire in the ER, the Chicago ER.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. Rob Lowe's in there somewhere doing something.
Of course he is.
Right, I saw something about it. It was like some commercial for a new episode. It's like You ever get the feeling we're on the wrong eye of the calm of the storm or something like that? It's like, check out, fired from hell. I don't know what the hell the name of that show is, but it's just like ridiculous.
Oh, I've watched some of it and I can't stand it.
There's
the way it's shot. It's like all weird, shaky cam and a lot of cuts, just cuts constantly, and to make it more action-y, I guess. And yeah, I don't like it.
There's actually a guy on YouTube who's a fireman in real life, and he is a firefighter in real life, and he actually makes fun of these shows on YouTube.
Oh, that's
God,
fun.
Sure.
That's got to be fun to watch.
That's great.
We'll move on now to Angel. The show Angel came out in '99, the spinoff from Buffy. Never watched it.
I don't know.
The West Wing debuted in '99.
Oh, nice.
A rose-tinted glass look at politics in the United States, where the president is actually a good person.
Yeah, and he's Martin Sheen. It's awesome.
Yeah. And everyone's competent.
I watched quite a bit of that.
Right. They don't believe that there's Jewish space lasers getting ready to attack us. Craziness. But yeah.
It's
another
Aaron
time.
Sorkin.
Yep, another time.
A lot of walking and talking.
Yes.
Is it like a more like mild? I've never seen it. Is it like more like a mild House of Cards?
Oh, for sure. It's
That's
really mild House of Cards.
In fact, I don't know why I liked it so much. Like, I should have been bored out of my mind, but it's really good somehow.
No, it's not even
political intrigue is just
it's not
just amusing, you know.
But a lot of it's just like the day-to-day stuff. It's nothing like that. There are really big things that happen, but
right. Well, it's relatable.
Yeah.
It's not
Man,
like
I remember.
Oh, go on.
Martin Sheen has to step down as president, and they bring in like this Republican guy, and it's John Goodman.
Sweet.
It's so they showed him like stomping down the hallway to the Oval Office. It's like fucking John Goodman.
Oh man,
and that was John Goodman at his fattest, and you can just hear him struggling to breathe the whole time.
Would you say that's his prime?
Yeah, that's prime Goodman.
That's prime Goodman. Goodman, that's grade A beef Goodman.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of fat on that cut.
Right.
But...
Yeah, dude. Dude, that's like a fucking 60-40.
Yeah. But yeah, he was fantastic. I was disappointed he was only in a couple episodes before the regular president came back.
Right.
That's kind of like, I mean, it's not as fast paced in some areas, but maybe it is, as ER, where it's just kind of like, oh, people got ER, people walking down the halls, and going to different places and stuff like that, where you've got to check this form. Have you got that report filled? Fine, give you that. Give me on that. It's just a lot of these sort of things go in and out, and there's like this overarching storyline throughout the episodes and the seasons, and it won. I think it's got the record for the most Emmys ever for a TV show, and it still holds that distinction to this day. The West Wing, another TV show that debuted in '99. One Piece. I've heard nothing but great things about that manga or show, whatever. Never watched any of it.
I never watched it, but I've heard amazing things about it. Yes.
Don't know. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard good things.
Yeah.
So,
I wish I had more to say about it.
Yeah.
Because
somebody's got a straw hat. Someone's got a straw hat. I know that.
Right.
That's cool.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? That debuted in '99. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? With Regis.
Hell yeah.
Final answer. I just
yeah.
God. Farscape. Farscape debuted in '99. Courage the Cowardly Dog debuted in '99.
Whoa, that far back?
Yep. Ed and Eddie debuted in '99. Roswell debuted in '99. Dilbert debuted in '99. WWE SmackDown debuted in '99.
Yes.
The Man Show debuted in '99. And the Tom Green Show debuted in '99 for MTV.
Nice.
Yes.
I love the Tom Green Show.
Yeah, I never watched that. I mean,
didn't
have cable, and
right. You got to go on YouTube and look at all the Tom Green stuff, like Tom Green Show, old stuff. That stuff is just so funny. Just hours of content.
Yeah, I'm probably the channel you're referring to. I found a channel like a few days ago where it's just got like every skit he's ever done. And there's one where it's like he's on a bus, like a 2-decker bus, and he just like it's some tour guide. He's like, oh, Thai food sucks.
Yeah, East Indian food sucks.
And then it just keeps saying, oh, that sucks. Oh, it sucks. Like
over and
over.
And they kick him downstairs, and they're mad at him too. And he's talking to the passengers, and he's all like, well, see, they didn't like me upstairs, and then you guys seem to like me up down here. And the lady goes, no, that's not true. Nobody likes you.
And they kick him off the bus. Great. Yeah, they're like, I really like Thai food. I like dog. Come on, guys.
Oh, my favorite is when he goes to I have so many favorites, but the one I'm thinking of right now is he goes to this baseball game, and they let him be the announcer, and he's just going off the rails, like right as someone's like about to pitch, right, and swing, he's going like swing, and like yelling out their name, and their number and stuff, and everyone's getting pissed, and they eventually kick him off, and they're like throwing shit at him, like getting violent, like it's good stuff, because it's great, because they like he's being really loud, and they come in and they tell him, hey, you got to keep it down, and what does he do? He gets louder. Right? He'd give a shit.
There's a lot of classic ones. The Undercutter's Pizza.
Oh yeah,
I watched the one. This is an old one. This is like when he was in Canada, like in 1994, I believe. But he goes to Subway and he orders a sandwich, and he just keeps adding toppings. Little pepper.
Yeah.
Little pepper.
I've seen that.
Tomatoes. Little lettuce. Some mayo.
Lettuce.
Yeah. Get some black olives.
Yeah.
All right, no more lettuce. All right. Lettuce, peppers, not too many. All right, tomato. Just keeps doing it. He goes on, and the kid finally just like he looks up and he's looking at him like he's crazy. Starts laughing. He's like, "Is that enough?" I was like, "Oh, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more." All right. When he gets a sandwich, it's a complete fucking mess.
Yeah.
It's oh god.
Right. Because like the kid's like literally trying to close it, and he's still naming up just some lettuce, no, tomato. The kid, it's so fucking great. Eventually, the kid's like, "Okay, no, that's enough. Like I'm wrapping it." You need that.
It's so ridiculous. I love it.
Yep.
All right. Yes. The Tom Green Show in 1999. All right. We now move to the top 10 TV shows of 1999 of basic television. Number 1, ER. 2, Friends. 3, Frasier. 4, Monday Night Football. 5, Veronica's Closet. 6, Jesse. 7, 60 Minutes. 8, Touched by an Angel. When you are. 9, CBS Sunday Movie.
Yay.
And number 10, Home Improvement. Finish out the decade.
Jesus.
Get
that out of here.
Still clinging on.
It's holding on for dear.
All right. Okay. And now we'll get to the worst TV shows to debut in 1999. Not a lot here. Passions. It's a new soap opera that debuted in 1999.
Oh yeah, and I think my mom watched that.
I'm pretty sure that
as did every mom watched.
Everyone's mother watched that show.
I think that was the one that had like a doll, like a Chucky doll that like possessed people.
Yes,
it was really fucking weird.
Yep, it was the soap opera with magic.
Yeah,
and supernatural forces.
It was weird, to say the least.
Ridiculous.
Beastmaster. That was another worst TV show to debut in 1999. And finally, Relic Hunter, which, if it sounds like Tomb Raider, that's because it's a complete fucking ripoff of Tomb Raider called Relic Hunter.
Relic Hunter? It's like the bargain bin generic version of Tomb Raider.
Yep. It's exactly what it is.
Is it like Kara Loft or something?
I hope so. All right. We will now move into... Oh, thank you guys again. Thank you. And we will now move into video games released in the U.S. in 1999. All right. Now, for video games...
but before we move on, Relic Hunter... it being like a ripoff of Tomb Raider. Yeah, it's not Laura Croft, it's Sydney Fox.
Ah,
Yeah.
see.
So yeah, it's just switch some words around basically.
Right. All right. Video games released in the U.S. in 1999. For the PC on March 26th, EverQuest was released. EverQuest.
Nice.
I never played EverQuest. I was in a study hall that I was so disruptive to kids in study hall that they put me in a separate study hall by myself basically. And every now and then I'd get like some other kids in there. And I remember one kid,
dude. They put you in solitary?
Yeah, kinda. I was allowed to do what I want. I got on the computer or whatever, but
okay.
I wasn't allowed to talk to kids, so because I wouldn't shut up, or they would be too jokey with me, or we would have too good of a time. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
You mess around too much.
Yeah. There's a kid who talked to me about EverQuest. He kept wanting me to play EverQuest, and he would not shut the fuck up about EverQuest. Some of it sounded interesting, but then I didn't want to play with him, so I just never bothered to get into it.
Yeah.
You guys ever play EverQuest?
No.
I played EverQuest 2. But I know a lot about EverQuest. I know that it was like like one of the original MMORPGs that was incredibly difficult. Quests pretty much didn't tell you where to go. You had to figure that out for yourself. There were no flight paths or anything like that where like you can click on something to get somewhere really fast. No like instant teleports, nothing like that. Everything was just really difficult, like the UI, everything. Right. So like we're talking about a game that comes before like the Final Fantasy 11, where like their UI was you had to open up a whole other tab, go to your spells or attacks and whatnot, and then literally select what you want to do. So EverQuest, if I'm I don't know if I'm right about this, but had a very similar thing because that was the thing. That's how you made those games then, right? There were no like action bars, like how they eventually came to later on. But EverQuest 2 eventually had that. But yeah, it was just a start of a World of Warcraft has a lot to thank for EverQuest. A lot of MMOs have a lot to thank for that.
Yeah, it looks a lot like it looks a lot like World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, when the kid was explaining to me EverQuest, it sounded, that sounds like fun, and I never got into it, but you can see how it influenced countless games after it, mainly World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, speaking of Final Fantasy 11, I believe there's a rumor that it's going to be paired up with Final Fantasy 14, and they're like redoing 11, and 14 and 11 are going to be like this some sort of combined package.
Dude, I was really hoping for something like this, that they would bring back like how everybody's doing like a classic version. Really hoping that they would bring Final Fantasy 11 with servers. That Square Enix would actually do that.
They might
Final Fantasy 11 servers, because I would 100% play those classic servers, man. I would make another Taru, name Bishop, the whole 9 yards.
You couldn't do it because it's already created. They won't let you do it. I don't know, but yeah, no,
the character's long gone.
Keep an eye out on it. But we'll move on now to September. Speaking of Final Fantasy, on September 9th, for the PlayStation, Final Fantasy 8 is released.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't remember. I didn't play this one right away. It took me. This was like the last one I played in terms of like the old PlayStation games. 7 was the first one, and I never beat it when I was younger because Hojo killed me. And then 9, I played all the way through, and then 8 I played much later. So I don't have too much to say on it when it came out, at least. Mm-hmm. But have you guys?
I love the cinematics, honestly. I mean,
they're all music. Really great. Oh god, the music.
The music and cinematics are great.
God damn.
Yeah, the memorable characters.
Oh yeah,
of like aesthetics and stuff like that, with like the gun blade and all that.
Right.
Very cool.
Squall.
And the summons that they had in that game were awesome, dude.
The junction system or the whatever that is, all that whole new like way of leveling up and whatnot.
Yeah. What was the card game?
Triple card. triad or
It was-
something.
Yeah,
Triple
yeah.
triad.
Yeah, triple
Yeah.
triad, yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Mhm.
So it was. I love the game. I love the aesthetic. I love the world. I loved all of it. I thought it was really good.
Yep, yep.
In terms of graphically, a major step up from Final Fantasy VII. A major step up.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
I just I don't think we owned it, and I never got around to playing it till much later. But when I did,
I thought we did. I think that's what I remember playing.
maybe
Maybe,
John
huh?
owned it at some point.
Yeah, right.
I think he did actually. Yeah, he must have because I remember we recorded. You know what? I couldn't
Right.
tell you why I never played this game. Honestly, never did.
Right.
I played Final Fantasy IX, that's for sure. Maybe I couldn't get into the junction system. It just didn't make sense to me.
Right.
I don't know. We'll move on to for the N64 on May 18th. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, the Pod Racer game came out. That was fun.
Played that.
Yeah,
It was a fun game.
Yeah. They had like the arcade version of it. Was fun too. That was good stuff. On February 20th. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, I just remember playing like the Tatooine level and the Tusken Raiders shot at you, or the Sand People.
Right.
If you're racist.
Yeah.
Wow.
On February 23rd.
Dude, it's a racist term in the Star Wars universe.
Right.
I think.
On February
True.
23rd.
It is.
They're
for the
Tusken Raiders.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
On February 23rd for the PlayStation, Silent Hill was released.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those games are fucked up. I remember watching Ray play the first one for a minute, and then I watched someone play it all the way through, like a playthrough. It was it's freaky. It's a lot of clunky controls, and it's not exactly the most appealing game. The superior one is Silent Hill 2. That's a classic.
Yeah, whichever one has a pyramid head.
Yeah, that's the second one.
2.
Yeah. Yep.
That must have been that. Yeah, that was for PlayStation 2 then, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
No,
yeah.
Maybe.
Because I
Probably.
played it. It
Probably.
must have been.
Yeah, probably. Because you didn't have a PlayStation.
Right.
Yeah. All right. I know you played this next one. For the Nintendo 64 on April 26th, Super Smash Bros. Is released.
God, fuck.
Hey.
Love that game. The original, yeah. Fantastic.
You were
many nights, like me, my siblings, and my dad would play.
Nice.
My dad was always Samus and would just stand there and like charge up the blaster,
Right.
and try to shoot us, or occasionally hit us over the head with a punch and jump around a little bit. And then I think my sister was usually Pikachu with the lightning bolts. I was Link or Captain Falcon. And my brother, fucking Kirby, all the time. And he would, oh my god, he would. We would play, I think, 5 lives each. Like that's how we did it.
Okay.
And like if he had like 2 lives left and I had 1 left, he would just suck me up and then jump off the edge. So he would lose a life but still have 1 left and then would kill me.
It's a solid strategy.
And I would get so mad at that. Just my god.
I never played this. I never played this one. Only time I actually ever played it was when I was at your apartment and you had a 64 with you and you guys were playing Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, did Aaron like bring it over or something?
Must have. And you were using Captain Falcon.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
Never changed. God, I want to say it's my favorite.
Yeah?
Because the other ones are so ridiculous.
Right. There's so many items and different things that just changed it. I get you. Yeah. That's why I like Melee. I think it's the best balance between new things and old. After that, when it got on the Wii, that's when it became too much because the Super Bowls came out where everyone had a super move that they could do that would just like take out either one person or maybe everyone on the fucking screen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was it for me. Yeah, but another classic game. Came out in 99. On July 1st for the PlayStation, Dino Crisis came out. For the PC on March 31st, Roller Coaster Tycoon came out.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
We've talked about this game a lot, even though we haven't. This is the first, we've talked about Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I know that.
Mhm.
But man, I don't think I ever played the first one, but I just love this series.
I'm pretty sure I did, but mostly two. Yeah, just
Right.
God, I loved killing people with roller coasters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's so much. Like I've said, I've definitely said this in another episode before, that like I love to build the coaster to wreck, but somehow it passes everything, right? So you can actually open it, because you couldn't let people on, right? So there's a way you can get around it. So then you just let people on it, and of course it's going to go out of control, and everyone's going to die. And then you just close it, and then you just open it.
Yeah, I think all you did was close it and open it or something. Yeah, and all these people are just, they don't know that they're just getting on a roller coaster that just
that
goes up and
literally
then
just
straight into
killed
the
a bunch of
ground.
people.
Yeah,
Literally, like 10 minutes ago.
Man, I remember like have like a big group of people, like get rid of the road or the path, and then just like drop water, and they all drown at the same time.
Yeah,
I liked taking people and just putting them in a hole, and just like having like a whole collection of people in like a pit.
I never did that because
I thought that was people in a pit.
Yeah,
or like one person in one square just bouncing around forever. Like no, that
it wasn't random.
That was too cruel for me.
It wasn't random. Maybe you'll be okay at this. It wasn't random. It was when people didn't like what they rode, or they complained about my park.
Oh yeah.
Then I put them in
carousel number one was boring.
So like if anybody says oh, boring is it? Well, we'll see how you feel now, and then put them in a hole. And so now all the naysayers are gone. So all anybody can hear is how good the park is.
Yeah, but then you click on the people in isolation. They're like, I really want to leave whatever park.
I don't know how to leave the park.
Yeah, just man. I'd rather just kill them immediately.
I think my favorite was I literally, the park I cheated. I had got all this money or whatever, some money code or whatever. Anyway, the park was maxed out on everything. It was beautiful. It was well put together. And I used to get complaints all the time that it was too cheap. And it was maxed out with how much I could charge for somebody to get into this park. It was maxed out.
Weird.
I could not charge anymore. And they were telling me it was too cheap. Like, I don't know what you want me to do, people. Like, you're literally paying $300 a ticket. And you're saying, no, this is just too cheap. I'm sorry. On good faith, on good conscience, I cannot accept this. I must pay more to get in here. I'm sorry. So, we'll move on now to on December 22nd for the Nintendo 64, Harvest Moon 64 came out. On February 17th for the PlayStation, Siphon Filter was released. On November 11th for the PlayStation, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis was released. Pretty sure that's when the series started going downhill. Pretty sure. And then it like culminated with some other game that came after this. It might have been Veronica, and then got back up.
The Dreamcast one,
and then brought back up with like Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube or something. The one that like changed the whole setup. One of them where the guy punches a boulder. That's the good one. On November 22nd, N64 for the N64, Donkey Kong 64 came out. Said that weird.
I wish I had played that.
Yeah, I never played that.
Because apparently it's crazy, like how many levels there are and how much shit you have to collect and to like get 100%, you know.
I like the theme song. DK, Donkey Kong. It's cheap. Oh, yeah. For the arcade, I haven't had one of those in a while. For the arcade in February of '99, Crazy Taxi was released. Make its way to
that game's fun as hell.
On September 9th for the Dreamcast, NFL 2K is released, which is funny. You know, September 9th was also the day that the Dreamcast was released. You know, so this was a game day release
launch title. Yeah,
and September 9th, Final Fantasy VIII was released by the PlayStation. Those bastards. Of course they would. And finally, on November 15th for the N64, WrestleMania 2000, my favorite wrestling game for the 64. Maybe one of my favorite wrestling games ever. It was the culmination of everything. You could create your own wrestler. You could have 100 different moves. You could have like Nemesis, an enemy, or something like that, and you could have like someone who was on your side who would come help you out if you were fighting in a match. It had a whole like storyline that you went through. it was incredibly difficult too. Once it got to a point where you just couldn't do anything. Every time you did any move, it was reversed. So the only move they couldn't reverse was this move where you like ran up against the ropes, but like where your stomach is facing the ropes, and you climb up on the ropes like you're running up a wall. You hit the top rope, you do a backflip, and you land on somebody, and then you do like a quick submission move, and you just keep doing that, repeating, rinse, wash, and repeat, and they can't block it, and then you can just make them tap out, and that's it. That's the whole thing. That's how I end up quote unquote beating the game. At some point, I get to like the championship, and the game's just like, no, we're gonna take the belts away from you in a typical shrewd Vince McMahon move, and I end up doing like a tag team match in WrestleMania, and that was it. It was kind of a letdown. But I had a lot of fun playing those games. They'd still be fun today. They should make another wrestling game in that same vein, like they did with the new Ninja Turtles game, Shredder's Revenge. I think a wrestling game like that would be a ton of fun.
And still keep all the models kind of blocky looking.
Yeah, exactly. Keep things fun like that. All right. Now we'll move on to worst video games of 1999. For this year, 1999, I chose 3. I'm gonna get to the first one.
Ooh.
For on November 29th for the Dreamcast, NFL Quarterback Club 2000. Now, why did I mention this game? Well, I remember renting this game and thinking, because they didn't have 2K, and I was like, fuck, I want that game. So we got NFL Quarterback Club 2000. We rented it, started playing it, and we came to realize that it was incredibly difficult to catch the ball. Every time we threw, our guy was wide open, he couldn't catch it. What button are we pressing? There's no button to press. It doesn't say. There's nothing in the game directions that says catch. It says just throw. There's something button that you have to press to catch it. And we literally were like 0 for 20. You could not catch the ball. This is the game that's called NFL Quarterback Club. And every time you threw the ball, you could not catch it. The only time I ever caught a ball was when I intercepted it. When someone was doing a pitch to a running back, I caught the pitch. And I didn't do anything. I was on defense. And I just ran into the ball, and it was like caught. And I intercepted it and ran it back for a touchdown. And that was it. Played it for a day, and I was like, or day and a half, and that was it for me. I remember that game because I could rack my brain. What is the NFL game where you cannot complete a pass to save your life? And that was like the biggest draw. You'll see there's some videos online of people playing this game where it's just the ball's being chucked and no one can catch it. It's just we don't know what the hell's going on here. And it's the NFL Quarterback Club 2000, but no one could get a hell of a club to be a part of.
Apparently.
Yeah. All right. We will now get to the main worst video game of 1999, and without a surprise, on May 31st for the Nintendo 64, Superman 64 was released.
Oh, I knew it.
Oh, no.
I knew it would be that one.
Yes. The controls for Superman 64 were panned for being confusing and difficult. Commands for various actions were reported to either be unresponsive or not working consistently, such as flying, landing, and picking up objects. Tim Weaver of N64 magazine complained that the only way to stop flying is to crash into a solid object, preferably a wall. And you always have to press forward to go forward, even if you're facing into the camera. All games Scott Allen Marriott derogatorily labeled the gameplay as a set of foggy, empty outdoor levels and indoor levels that seem out of place. Some critics found the missions too easy, too unengaging, and nonsensical. Hardcore Gaming 101's John Sepniak going as far to call them obscenely stupid. He and other critics also panned what was viewed as ridiculous-looking fights with enemies, writing melee combat is slow, awkward, and imprecise, leading to much flailing of limbs. The ring missions were labeled as the perfect mixture of monotonous and difficult due to their limited margins of error and time limits. I remember that. I played this game once, and that was enough.
Yeah.
Pile of shit.
So did I.
Horrible. Oh, God. Statements of Superman 64 being one of the worst video games of all time have continued in later years. The game has ranked on all-time worst lists of publications such as Electronic Gaming Monthly, The Guardian, SVG.com, and topped those of GameSpy and Game Trailers. It also appeared on worst of decade end lists of Filter and Nintendo Power. It continues to be called the all-time worst of the Superman video games, which are usually not well received. As of 2017, Superman 64 holds the Guinness World Record for lowest rated superhero game, citing its game rankings aggregate score of 22.9%, reported The Guardian in 2018. Superman 64 has cultivated a fan base of curious masochists eager to see how bad it really is. And that Superman 64. And I have one more. Now, how can I have one more? Well, I'm just gonna. It's real quick. It's on July 7th for the PC. The game Skydive with an exclamation point. Skydive was released, and the only sentence I'm gonna put, it won GameSpot's award in '99 for worst game of the year. In a year that included Superman. In a year that included Superman 64. It was the worst game of the year. In a year that included Superman 64. So, yeah, it's got horrible controls, even though it uses only a mouse. You're supposed to land in Skydive the game. You're supposed to land on this little target area. The graphics are atrocious. The gameplay is boring and it's just awful all around. Has a lower score on game rankings than Superman, which is considered one of the worst games of all time. So those are my 3 worst games of '99, with Superman 64 really taking the top cheese there. All right, guys, that'll do it for the decade of the '90s. That'll do it.
Holy shit, we
are finished. We finished 2000s, and now we finished with the '90s. We're gonna be looking forward to the '80s, fellas. That's the decade we've gone ahead and made the decision.
That's the decision.
We are going with the decision. We're gonna start with the '80s here. So it's gonna be a few weeks before then, probably maybe a couple, maybe 3. We got to get some things in preparation for it. But when we do come back, we'll let you know. And we'll be starting with our decade of the '80s with 1980. So thank you, Brad. Thank you, Nick, for joining me again.
Hey, no problem.
And with that, I hope you enjoyed listening to our conversation, and will join us again for another installment of History with Ursaphat. Don't forget to hydrate, exercise, and to like and subscribe to the podcast. All these things are essential for your health and well-being. Take care of yourselves and each other.